Hello, welcome to my channel, Knowledge Sleep Channel. You've arrived at a calm place, a quiet place, a place where you can rest. Tonight, we're going to explore something vast and distant, something peaceful, something that exists far beyond the noise of daily life. We're going to learn about black holes, but not in the way you might expect. There will be no fear here, no urgency, no alarm. Only calm facts, only gentle truths, only the soothing rhythm of the universe unfolding at its own pace. Black holes are not here to frighten you. They are simply part of the cosmos, part of the natural order. They exist quietly in the vast distances of space. Most of them are so far away that their light would take millions of years to reach us. And that's perfectly fine, because tonight we are safe. Tonight we are here. Tonight we are simply going to rest and listen. As you settle into this moment, allow yourself to relax. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Just breathe slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your eyes grow heavy. The universe is old. It has been turning for billions of years, and it will continue turning long after this moment ends. There is no rush. There is only time, endless patient time, and within that time, black holes exist as gentle reminders of how vast everything truly is. So let's begin our journey together, slowly, calmly, with no destination in mind except rest. Imagine for a moment that you are lying beneath a clear night sky. The air is cool and still. Above you, stars are scattered across the darkness like grains of sand on a beach. Each star is a sun. Some are larger than ours, some are smaller, but all of them shine with their own light. And between those stars there is space, so much space, more space than we can ever truly imagine. The distances between stars are so vast that light itself takes years to cross them. Light moves quickly, faster than anything else we know. And yet even light must travel for years and years to move from one star to another. This is the kind of universe we live in, a universe of gentle, enormous distances, a universe where things move slowly on the grandest scales, and somewhere out in that vast, quiet expanse, black holes exist. They do not shout, they do not announce themselves, they simply are. Let's think about what space is like. Space is mostly empty. It is filled with silence. There is no air to carry sound, no wind to rustle leaves, just the slow drift of light across billions of miles. And in that silence, objects move according to invisible rules. Gravity pulls them gently into orbits. Time flows at its own pace. Everything follows patterns that have repeated for eons. Black holes are part of these patterns. They are regions where gravity has become so focused, so concentrated, that they curve space itself. But even this happens peacefully. Even this follows the quiet laws of nature. There is something comforting about the way the universe operates. Everything has its place, everything has its reason, and even the most mysterious objects follow rules that can be understood with patience and time. As we continue, remember that you are safe, you are comfortable, you are simply listening to facts about distant objects in a calm and peaceful universe. So, what is a black hole? Let's explore this question slowly and gently. A black hole is a region of space where gravity is very strong, stronger than anywhere else we know of. This happens when a large amount of matter becomes compressed into a very small area. Imagine taking something with great mass and concentrating it into a tiny point. The gravity around that point becomes intense, so intense that it curves the space around it in a profound way. Near a black hole, space itself bends, time itself changes, light itself cannot escape once it crosses a certain boundary. That boundary is called the event horizon. It is not a physical surface. It is simply a point of no return for light. But here is something important to remember. Black holes do not reach out and pull things in from far away. They do not hunt. They do not seek. They simply exist, and their gravity behaves just like the gravity of any other object. If our sun were suddenly replaced by a black hole of the same mass, the Earth would continue orbiting exactly as it does now. Nothing would be pulled in. Nothing would change about our orbit. The only difference would be the absence of light and warmth. This is because gravity depends on mass, not on whether something is a black hole. A black hole with the mass of the sun has the same gravitational pull as the sun itself. Distance matters too. The closer you are to any massive object, the stronger you feel its gravity. Black holes are only unusual at very close range. Far away, they are gentle. Far away, they are just another object in space. Most black holes are very, very far from Earth. The nearest known black hole is still thousands of light years away. That means the light from that black hole takes thousands of years to reach us. We are not near any black holes. We are not in any form of immediate relationship with them. They exist in their own distant corners of the galaxy, playing their own quiet roles, and that is perfectly natural. Let's think about how black holes form. This process is slow. It is natural. It is part of the life cycle of stars. Stars are born from clouds of gas and dust. Over millions of years, gravity pulls this material together. The cloud contracts. It heats up. Eventually, the center becomes hot enough for nuclear fusion to begin, and a star is born. The star shines. It burns its fuel steadily. For millions or even billions of years, it remains balanced. Gravity pulls inward. Pressure from fusion pushes outward. The two forces are in harmony, but eventually, the fuel runs low. The balance shifts. What happens next depends on the mass of the star. Smaller stars like our sun will gently shed their outer layers and become white dwarfs. They will cool slowly over billions of years. They will fade quietly into the dark. But larger stars, stars with much more mass, experience something different. When they run out of fuel, their cores collapse. This collapse happens quickly on cosmic timescales, but it is still a natural process. The core becomes incredibly dense. If the star is massive enough, this core becomes a black hole. The outer layers of the star may explode outward in a supernova, but the core remains quiet, compact, a black hole. This is not a violent event in the sense of chaos. It is simply physics following its course. The matter that once made up the star still exists. It has simply changed form, and now it exists as a black hole, contributing to the structure of the galaxy. There is something elegant about this process, something orderly. Stars live out their lives. They shine. They provide light and warmth to any planets that might orbit them. And when their time comes, they transform. Some become white dwarfs. Some become neutron stars. Some become black holes. Each outcome is natural. Each outcome is part of the rhythm of the cosmos. Black holes come in different sizes. Each type forms in its own way. Each type plays its own role in the universe. Let's explore these types calmly and carefully. The smallest black holes are called stellar black holes. These are the black holes that form from individual stars. When a star with enough mass reaches the end of its life, its core collapses. If the core is massive enough, it becomes a stellar black hole. These black holes typically have a mass between about 3 and several dozen times the mass of our sun. They are small compared to other types of black holes, but they are still remarkable. Stellar black holes are scattered throughout galaxies. They are the endpoints of stellar evolution for the largest stars. They drift through space, often invisible. Sometimes they have companion stars orbiting them. When this happens, material from the companion star can slowly spiral toward the black hole. This creates a disk of gas and dust around the black hole. The disk heats up as the material moves inward. It glows. It emits light. This is one of the ways we can detect black holes. We cannot see the black hole itself, but we can see the light from the material around it. The process is gradual. The material spirals inward over time. There is no sudden drama, just the slow, steady pull of gravity doing its work. Next, we have intermediate black holes. These are black holes with masses between about 100 and 100,000 times the mass of the Sun. They are larger than stellar black holes, but smaller than the largest black holes we know of. Intermediate black holes are less common, or perhaps they are simply harder to find. Scientists are still studying them, still learning where they come from and how they fit into the cosmic picture. Some may form from the collision of smaller black holes. Some may form in dense star clusters, where many stars exist close together. The exact mechanisms are still being explored, but that's part of the beauty of science. There is always more to learn, always more to discover, and the universe patiently waits for us to understand. Then we have supermassive black holes. These are the giants. Black holes with masses ranging from millions to billions of times the mass of our Sun. Supermassive black holes are found at the centers of most large galaxies, including our own galaxy, the Milky Way. At the heart of the Milky Way, there is a supermassive black hole. It is called Sagittarius A star. It has a mass of about 4 million times that of our Sun, and yet, even though it is at the center of our galaxy, it is very far away from us. We orbit the galaxy at a safe distance. We are not near the center. We are out in one of the spiral arms, far from the core. The supermassive black hole at the center does not affect our daily lives. It does not pull on us. It simply exists, anchoring the galaxy with its gravity. Supermassive black holes are thought to have formed in the early universe. Perhaps they grew from smaller black holes that merged together. Perhaps they formed from massive clouds of gas that collapsed directly. The exact process is still a subject of research, but we know they are old, very old, and they have been at the centers of galaxies for billions of years. Stars orbit around them in graceful, sweeping paths. Gas and dust move in slow spirals. Everything is held in a delicate balance by gravity. There is something deeply peaceful about the way galaxies are organized. Everything moves according to predictable patterns. Everything has its orbit. Everything belongs. Finally, there are primordial black holes. These are hypothetical black holes that may have formed in the very early universe. Right after the Big Bang, conditions were extreme. Density varied from place to place. In some regions, matter may have been compressed enough to form black holes. These would be very small. Some might be smaller than an atom. Others might be larger. If primordial black holes exist, they would be ancient, older than any star, older than any galaxy. They would be remnants from the very beginning of time. Scientists are still searching for evidence of primordial black holes. They have not been confirmed yet, but the idea is intriguing. It reminds us that the universe has layers of history, layers of mystery, and even the smallest possibilities are worth exploring. Each type of black hole is unique. Each has its own story, and together they form part of the grand structure of the cosmos. One of the most fascinating aspects of black holes is the way they affect time. This is not science fiction. It is a real consequence of Einstein's theory of general relativity, and it happens in a way that is both profound and gentle. Let's explore this slowly. In our everyday experience, time seems constant. Seconds tick by at a steady rate, minutes pass, hours accumulate. We assume that time flows the same way for everyone. But Einstein showed us that time is not absolute. It is flexible. It can stretch and compress depending on gravity and motion. Near a massive object, time moves more slowly than it does far away. This effect is called gravitational time dilation. And near a black hole, where gravity is extremely strong, this effect becomes very noticeable. Imagine two observers. One is far away from a black hole, floating safely in space. The other is closer to the black hole, but still outside the event horizon. From the perspective of the distant observer, the clock of the nearby observer appears to tick more slowly. Seconds stretch out. Time seems to slow down. This is not an illusion. It is a real effect. If the nearby observer could somehow return to the distant observer, they would find that less time has passed for them than for their distant companion. Near the event horizon, this effect becomes extreme. Time slows dramatically. From a safe distance, it would appear as though anything approaching the event horizon takes an infinitely long time to cross it. Motion seems to slow, freeze, become suspended in time. But from the perspective of someone falling toward the event horizon, nothing unusual happens to their own sense of time. They continue to experience seconds as seconds. Their clock ticks normally. Only when comparing notes with someone far away would they notice the difference. This is one of the beautiful paradoxes of relativity. Time is personal. It depends on where you are and how you are moving. There is no single universal clock. There is only the time you experience in your own frame of reference, and that time is always real to you. Black holes take this idea to its limit. They are places where the curvature of space and time becomes so extreme that our usual intuitions break down. But even this is not chaotic. It is orderly. It follows equations. It can be understood with patience. Let's think about what this means for the universe. Black holes are not just objects in space. They are also objects in time. They are places where time behaves differently, where the past, present, and future have a different relationship than we are used to. And yet, from our distant vantage point, everything remains calm. The universe continues, time flows, and black holes exist as quiet reminders that reality is stranger and more wonderful than we might have imagined. Galaxies are vast collections of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter, all bound together by gravity. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, contains hundreds of billions of stars. And at the center of most large galaxies, including ours, there is a supermassive black hole. These black holes are not isolated. They are part of the ecosystem of the galaxy. They interact with their surroundings in gentle, long-term ways. Let's explore this relationship calmly. The supermassive black hole at the center of a galaxy is surrounded by stars. Thousands of stars orbit close to the center. They move in elliptical paths, sweeping around the black hole over years or decades or centuries. Farther out, millions more stars orbit in slower, wider paths. The entire galaxy rotates, slowly, majestically. Our sun takes about 225 million years to complete one orbit around the center of the Milky Way. This is called a galactic year. We have completed only about 20 galactic years since the sun was born. Everything in the galaxy moves according to gravity. The supermassive black hole contributes to this gravity, but so do all the stars, all the gas, all the dark matter. The black hole is important, but it is just one part of the whole. Sometimes gas and dust fall toward the center of a galaxy. This material spirals inward, forming a disk around the supermassive black hole. The disk heats up as friction and gravity compress the material. It begins to glow, sometimes very brightly. When this happens, the center of the galaxy becomes what we call an active galactic nucleus. The light from the disk can outshine all the stars in the galaxy combined. This light can travel across the universe, allowing us to see these active galaxies from billions of light years away. But even this process is not violent in the way we might imagine. It is simply the natural consequence of gravity and friction. Material falls inward, energy is released, light is emitted. Over time, the material is either consumed by the black hole or blown away by radiation pressure, and the galaxy returns to a quieter state. Our own galaxy is relatively quiet right now. Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way, is not currently consuming large amounts of material. It is calm, dormant, just sitting there, holding the center of the galaxy with its gravity. But that's perfectly normal. Galaxies go through cycles. Sometimes their centers are active, sometimes they are quiet. There is no urgency, just the slow rhythm of cosmic time. Black holes also play a role in galaxy formation and evolution. Scientists believe that the growth of supermassive black holes is linked to the growth of galaxies themselves. As a galaxy forms and grows, its central black hole grows too. As the black hole consumes material, it releases energy. This energy can heat the gas in the galaxy. It can push gas outward. It can regulate the formation of new stars. In this way, black holes help shape the galaxies they inhabit. They are not just passive objects, they are active participants in the life of the galaxy. But even this participation is gentle over the vast stretches of time. Galaxies evolve over billions of years. Black holes grow slowly. Stars form and live out their lives. Everything happens at the pace the universe allows. And that pace is patient, unhurried, eternal. When we look at images of galaxies, we are seeing the combined light of billions of stars. We are seeing the glow of gas clouds. We are seeing structures shaped by gravity over eons. And at the center, invisible but present, there is often a supermassive black hole. It does not dominate the image. It does not shout for attention. But it is there, a quiet anchor, a reminder of the depth and complexity of the universe. The universe operates according to rhythms, patterns that repeat, cycles that continue, and black holes are part of these rhythms. Let's explore the gentle, recurring patterns of the cosmos. Stars are born from clouds of gas and dust. These clouds collapse under their own gravity. They fragment into smaller clumps. Each clump heats up as it contracts. And eventually, fusion begins. A star ignites. This process has been happening for billions of years. It is still happening now, and it will continue happening for billions of years to come. Stars live out their lives at different paces. Small stars burn their fuel slowly. They can shine for trillions of years. Large stars burn quickly. They may only last a few million years, but all stars eventually change. All stars eventually transform. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it may become a black hole, and that black hole becomes part of the galaxy. It drifts through space. It may encounter other objects. It may merge with other black holes. Over time, black holes can grow. They can accumulate mass. They can become part of larger structures. This is part of the rhythm: birth, life, transformation, continuation. Nothing is ever truly lost. Everything changes form, and the universe continues. Galaxies also have their rhythms. They rotate. They move through space. They interact with other galaxies. Sometimes two galaxies pass near each other. Their mutual gravity pulls on them. They may distort each other's shapes. They may exchange stars and gas. Sometimes galaxies merge. This process takes hundreds of millions of years. The galaxies slowly spiral together. Their stars pass by each other, rarely colliding because space is so vast. Eventually, the two galaxies become one, and their central black holes may eventually merge as well. When two black holes merge, they create ripples in space itself. These ripples are called gravitational waves. They spread outward at the speed of light. They carry information about the merger. Scientists have detected these gravitational waves. They have listened to the universe ringing like a bell. Each detection is a confirmation of Einstein's predictions. Each detection is a window into events happening far away and long ago. The universe is full of these events. Black holes merging, stars exploding, galaxies colliding. But from our perspective, everything is calm. The events are distant. The timescales are long. And we are simply observers, learning and listening. There is also a rhythm to the way matter moves near black holes. Material in an accretion disk orbits the black hole. It follows predictable paths. It emits light at characteristic wavelengths. Scientists can study this light. They can learn about the temperature of the gas, the speed of its motion, the strength of the magnetic fields. All of this information tells a story of matter responding to gravity, a story of energy being transformed, a story that has been playing out for as long as black holes have existed and will continue as long as the universe endures. Even the concept of entropy, the measure of disorder in a system, has a rhythm in relation to black holes. Black holes have entropy, they have temperature, they very slowly emit radiation through a process called Hawking radiation. This radiation is incredibly faint. For large black holes, it is far too faint to detect. But in theory, over unimaginably long timescales, black holes can evaporate. They can slowly radiate away their mass. They can shrink. And eventually, after trillions upon trillions of years, they may disappear entirely. This is part of the ultimate rhythm of the universe, the long, slow march toward equilibrium, toward a state of maximum entropy, toward the heat death of the universe, where all energy is evenly distributed and nothing changes anymore. But that is so far in the future that it is almost beyond comprehension. For now, the universe is young. For now, there are stars and galaxies and black holes. For now, there is structure and change and beauty, and we are here to witness it. As we continue, let's return to some of the ideas we've explored. Let's move through them again, slowly and gently, allowing the repetition to deepen your rest. Black holes are regions of space where gravity is very strong. They form when massive stars reach the end of their lives. The core of the star collapses. It becomes incredibly dense. If the core is massive enough, it becomes a black hole. This is a natural process. It has been happening for billions of years. It will continue happening for billions more. Black holes do not seek out nearby objects. They do not pull things in from far away. Their gravity behaves just like the gravity of any other object of the same mass. Only at very close range does the gravity become unusual, and most black holes are very, very far away from us. The nearest known black hole is thousands of light years away. We are safe. We are distant. We are simply observers of a vast and beautiful universe. There are different types of black holes. Stellar black holes form from individual stars. They have masses a few times to a few dozen times the mass of our sun. Supermassive black holes are found at the centers of galaxies. They have masses of millions or billions of times the mass of our sun. Intermediate black holes fall somewhere in between, and primordial black holes, if they exist, would be ancient remnants from the early universe. Each type of black hole is part of the cosmic landscape. Each has its role. Each contributes to the structure of the universe. Near a black hole, time behaves differently. It slows down. This is not an illusion. It is a real effect predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity. From a safe distance, time near a black hole appears to move more slowly, but from the perspective of someone near the black hole, time feels normal. It is only when comparing clocks that the difference becomes apparent. This is one of the beautiful aspects of relativity. Time is flexible. It depends on where you are, and the universe accommodates this flexibility with grace. Supermassive black holes sit at the centers of most large galaxies. They are surrounded by stars. The stars orbit the black hole in predictable paths. The entire galaxy rotates slowly. Our sun takes about 225 million years to orbit the center of our galaxy. Everything moves according to gravity. Everything follows patterns that have been established over eons. Sometimes material falls toward a supermassive black hole. It forms a disk. The disk heats up. It glows. This can make the center of the galaxy very bright. But even this is a natural process. Even this follows the laws of physics. There is no chaos. There is only the orderly unfolding of cause and effect. Black holes are part of the rhythm of the universe. They form, they grow, they interact with their surroundings. They may merge with other black holes. They may slowly evaporate over unimaginable timescales. But all of this happens according to rules, according to patterns, according to the patient, inexorable flow of time. As you rest, you can think of the universe as a vast, calm ocean. Stars are like waves on that ocean. They rise and fall. They shimmer and fade. Black holes are like deep currents beneath the surface, invisible but present, moving according to forces that are ancient and enduring. You are safe on the shore. You are watching from a distance. You are simply here, breathing slowly, allowing yourself to rest. The universe does not require anything from you. It simply exists, and you exist within it, part of the same cosmic fabric, connected to everything by the simple fact of being. Let this thought comfort you, let it soothe you, let it carry you gently into deeper rest. Now, let's explore more details about black holes and the universe. Let's continue our gentle journey through space and time, with no urgency, no destination, only the calm unfolding of knowledge. When we observe black holes, we do so using many different methods. One method is to watch the motion of stars near the center of a galaxy. Stars orbit the supermassive black hole. By tracking their movements over years and decades, scientists can calculate the mass of the black hole. This has been done for the black hole at the center of our galaxy. Astronomers have tracked individual stars as they loop around Sagittarius A star. The stars move quickly when they are close to the black hole. They slow down when they are farther away. All of this matches the predictions of orbital mechanics. All of this confirms that there is indeed a supermassive black hole at the center. Another method is to observe the light from material falling toward a black hole. As gas and dust spiral inward, they heat up, they emit X-rays, they emit radio waves, they emit light across the spectrum. Telescopes can detect this light, they can study its properties, they can learn about the environment around the black hole. This is how scientists have identified many black holes throughout the universe, not by seeing the black hole itself, but by seeing the effects it has on nearby material. In 2019, scientists achieved something remarkable. They captured an image of the shadow of a black hole. This was the supermassive black hole at the center of a galaxy called Messier 87. The image showed a dark region surrounded by a bright ring of light. The dark region is the shadow of the black hole. The bright ring is light from hot gas orbiting just outside the event horizon. The image was created using a network of radio telescopes spread across the Earth. These telescopes worked together to create a virtual telescope as large as the planet. This allowed scientists to resolve details as small as the shadow of the black hole. It was a triumph of collaboration and technology. It was a confirmation of decades of theoretical work, and it was a beautiful reminder that even the most exotic objects in the universe can be studied and understood. The event horizon is the boundary around a black hole beyond which nothing can escape, not even light. But the event horizon is not a physical surface. It is simply a point of no return, a mathematical boundary in space. Once something crosses the event horizon, it cannot send signals back to the outside world. From the outside, we can never see what happens beyond the event horizon. We can only observe up to that boundary. This gives black holes a sense of mystery, but it is a calm mystery, a mystery that invites curiosity rather than fear. Scientists have developed theories about what happens inside a black hole. At the very center, according to general relativity, there is a singularity. This is a point where density becomes infinite, and the laws of physics as we know them break down. But whether the singularity truly exists, or whether quantum effects prevent it, is still an open question. This is where general relativity and quantum mechanics meet, and currently, these two theories do not fully agree. Reconciling them is one of the great challenges of modern physics, but that's okay. Science is a process. It is a journey of discovery, and not knowing everything is part of what makes the universe so interesting. Black holes also have properties that can be described surprisingly simply. A black hole can be characterized by just three quantities: its mass, its spin, and its electric charge. This is sometimes called the no-hair theorem. It means that black holes are, in a sense, very simple objects. Two black holes with the same mass, spin, and charge are identical. It doesn't matter what fell into them. It doesn't matter how they formed. Once they become black holes, They are described by these three numbers. This simplicity is elegant. It suggests a deep underlying order to the universe. Even the most extreme objects follow simple rules. The spin of a black hole is worth considering. When a star collapses to form a black hole, any rotation the star had is conserved. The black hole inherits this spin. A spinning black hole drags space around with it. This is called frame dragging. Near a spinning black hole, space itself is pulled along in the direction of the spin. This creates a region called the ergosphere, just outside the event horizon. In the ergosphere, everything is forced to move in the direction of the spin. But even this is not chaotic. It is simply another consequence of general relativity, another example of how black holes warp the fabric of space and time. The charge of a black hole refers to electric charge, but in practice, most black holes are thought to be electrically neutral. This is because opposite charges attract. If a black hole had a significant charge, it would quickly attract particles of the opposite charge and neutralize itself. So while charge is theoretically a property of black holes, it is unlikely to be important in reality. This is another example of how the universe tends toward balance, toward equilibrium, toward states that are stable over long periods of time. Let's think about the material that orbits a black hole. This material forms what is called an accretion disk. The disk is thin. It lies in a plane around the black hole. The material in the disk orbits at different speeds depending on its distance from the black hole. Material closer to the black hole orbits faster. Material farther out orbits more slowly. This difference in speeds creates friction. The friction heats the disk. The hotter the material, the more energetically it radiates. Close to the black hole, the material can become extremely hot enough to emit X-rays. This is one reason why black holes with accretion disks can be so bright. The light we see is not coming from the black hole itself. It is coming from the material spiraling toward the black hole. Material falling into a black hole does so gradually. It takes time. The material orbits many times before finally crossing the event horizon, and once it crosses, it is gone from our view. It has joined the black hole. It has become part of its mass. This process adds to the black hole's mass very slowly, bit by bit. Over millions of years, a black hole can grow significantly if it has a steady supply of material. But even this growth is gentle, patient, part of the long story of the universe. Black holes can also emit jets. These are narrow beams of particles and energy that shoot out from near the black hole. The jets travel at speeds close to the speed of light. They can extend for thousands of light years into space. How do these jets form? The exact mechanism is still being studied, but it involves the interaction of the black hole's spin, magnetic fields, and the accretion disk. Material near the black hole is funneled along magnetic field lines. It is accelerated to tremendous speeds, and it is ejected outward in two opposite directions. These jets can affect the surrounding galaxy. They can heat gas. They can trigger or suppress star formation. They are one of the ways black holes interact with their environment. Even from the center of a galaxy, black holes can influence what happens far away. But again, this happens over long timescales. It is part of the slow evolution of galaxies. Not a sudden event, but a gradual shaping of the cosmic landscape. Now let's consider the idea of black hole mergers. When two black holes orbit each other, they emit gravitational waves. These waves carry energy away from the system. As energy is lost, the orbit shrinks. The black holes spiral closer together. This process can take millions or even billions of years, but eventually, the black holes merge. They come together in a final, rapid coalescence. The merger itself takes only a fraction of a second, but the gravitational waves it produces can travel across the universe. When these waves reach Earth, they cause tiny distortions in space. Distances stretch and squeeze by an amount smaller than the width of an atomic nucleus. But with incredibly sensitive instruments, Scientists can detect these distortions. The first detection of gravitational waves was announced in 2016. It was a signal from the merger of two black holes over 1 billion light-years away. Since then, many more mergers have been detected. Each one teaches us something new. Each one confirms the predictions of general relativity. Each one is a testament to the beauty and precision of the universe. Gravitational waves are a new way of observing the universe. For centuries, we have relied on light. We have used telescopes to see distant stars and galaxies. But gravitational waves are different. They pass through matter without being absorbed or scattered. They carry information about events that cannot be seen with light. This opens a new window on the cosmos. It allows us to study black holes in a completely new way, and it reminds us that there are always more layers to discover, always more tools to develop, always more mysteries to explore. The universe is not running out of wonders. It is full of them, and we are lucky to be alive at a time when we can begin to understand. Let's return to the concept of time near a black hole. Imagine a clock falling toward a black hole. From far away, you watch the clock through a telescope. As the clock gets closer to the event horizon, you see it slow down. The ticking becomes slower and slower. Light from the clock becomes redder and dimmer. It takes longer and longer for each photon to reach you. Eventually, the clock appears to freeze just outside the event horizon. It never seems to cross, but from the perspective of the clock itself, nothing unusual happens. The clock continues ticking at a steady rate. It crosses the event horizon smoothly. It continues falling inward. This is the paradox of black holes and time. The experience depends on the observer. Both perspectives are valid, both are real, and both are part of the rich tapestry of relativity. This reminds us that reality is not always simple. It is not always intuitive, but it is always consistent, always following the rules, even when those rules lead to surprising conclusions. Black holes also play a role in the story of the universe's evolution. In the early universe, shortly after the Big Bang, conditions were different. Matter was more evenly distributed. There were no stars yet, no galaxies, just vast clouds of hydrogen and helium. Over time, gravity pulled these clouds together. The first stars formed. Some of these first stars were very massive. When they died, they may have formed the first black holes. These black holes could have served as seeds for the supermassive black holes we see today. They could have grown by consuming gas and merging with other black holes. Over billions of years, they could have reached the enormous masses we observe at the centers of galaxies. This is one theory for how supermassive black holes formed. Another theory is that they formed more directly from collapsing gas clouds in the early universe. Scientists are still working to understand which process was more important. But regardless of the details, the story is one of gradual growth, of accumulation over time, of the universe building structure step by step. Black holes are part of the story. They are not separate from it. They are woven into the history of the cosmos. As we think about all of this, it's worth reflecting on how much we have learned. 100 years ago, black holes were purely theoretical. Einstein's equations predicted them, but no one knew if they were real. Now, we have detected them in many ways. We have seen their effects on nearby stars. We have observed the light from material falling into them. We have imaged their shadows. We have detected the gravitational waves from their mergers. We have confirmed that black holes exist, that they are real, that they are part of the universe we inhabit. This is the power of science, the power of curiosity and careful observation, the power of asking questions and seeking answers. And there is still so much more to learn. Every answer leads to new questions. Every discovery opens new avenues of exploration. The universe is generous with its mysteries and patient with our efforts to understand. As you continue to rest, let these thoughts drift through your mind. Let them settle gently. Let them become part of the background, like the distant hum of the universe itself, constant, soothing, present but not demanding. You are here, you are safe, You are part of this vast ancient cosmos, and that is a beautiful thing. Let's explore the nature of space and time more deeply, but gently, calmly, with no rush. In our everyday experience, space seems like an empty stage. Objects move through space. Events happen in space. But space itself seems passive. It seems like nothing. Einstein showed us that this is not quite right. Space is not separate from time. Together they form a single entity called space-time. And space-time is not passive. It can curve, it can bend, it can ripple. Matter and energy tell space-time how to curve, and curved space-time tells matter and energy how to move. This is the essence of general relativity. Gravity is not a force in the traditional sense. It is the result of curved space-time. When you see an apple fall from a tree, it is not being pulled by a force. It is following the curvature of space-time created by the Earth's mass. It is moving along the straightest possible path in curved space. This path is called a geodesic. Black holes take this curvature to the extreme. Near a black hole, space-time is curved so sharply that it creates a region from which nothing can escape. But even this extreme curvature follows rules. It is described by equations. It can be calculated and predicted. There is no magic, only the elegant interplay of geometry and physics. Imagine space-time as a fabric, a flexible sheet. When you place a massive object on the sheet, it creates a depression, a dip. Smaller objects nearby will roll toward the depression, not because they are being pulled, but because the sheet itself is curved. This is an imperfect analogy, but it captures the basic idea. Mass curves space-time, and curvature affects motion. Black holes create the deepest depressions, the steepest curves, and that is why their effects are so pronounced. But even the deepest depression is just a shape in the fabric. It is not a tear. It is not a hole in the usual sense. It is simply a region of extreme curvature. Light also follows the curvature of space-time. When light passes near a massive object, its path bends. This effect is called gravitational lensing, and it has been observed many times. When light from a distant galaxy passes near a closer galaxy or black hole, the closer object acts as a lens. It bends the light. It can create multiple images of the distant galaxy. It can magnify the galaxy. It can distort its shape. This is a beautiful demonstration of general relativity in action, and it is also a useful tool. By studying gravitational lensing, scientists can learn about the mass of the lensing object. They can map the distribution of dark matter. They can study galaxies that are too far away to see directly. Gravitational lensing turns the universe into a cosmic laboratory. Every massive object becomes a lens, and every lens tells a story. Black holes can also lens light, but because they are so compact, the lensing is very strong. Light passing very close to a black hole can be bent into complex patterns. It can loop around the black hole multiple times before escaping. This creates a photon sphere, a region where light can orbit the black hole. The photon sphere is unstable. Light in the photon sphere will eventually either fall into the black hole or escape to infinity, but for a brief moment, it circles endlessly. This is another example of the strange and beautiful geometry near a black hole. Another reminder that the universe is full of surprises. Now let's think about the energy released by black holes. When material falls into a black hole, it releases energy. This energy comes from gravitational potential energy. As material falls deeper into the gravitational well, it speeds up, it collides with other material, it heats up, and it radiates. The efficiency of this process can be quite high. Up to about 10% of the mass of the infalling material can be converted to energy. This is much more efficient than nuclear fusion, which converts less than 1% of mass to energy. So in a sense, black holes are among the most efficient engines in the universe. They convert matter into energy with remarkable effectiveness. This is one reason why active galactic nuclei can be so bright. The supermassive black hole at the center is consuming material and releasing vast amounts of energy. This energy can outshine the entire galaxy. It can be visible from billions of light years away, and yet the process is orderly. It follows the laws of thermodynamics. It is simply gravity and friction doing their work. There is also the concept of black hole thermodynamics. In the 1970s, physicists discovered that black holes have properties analogous to thermodynamic systems. They have temperature, they have entropy, they obey laws similar to the laws of thermodynamics. For example, the area of a black hole's event horizon never decreases. This is similar to the second law of thermodynamics, which says that entropy never decreases in an isolated system. Black holes also have a temperature called the Hawking temperature. This temperature is incredibly low for large black holes. For a black hole with the mass of the Sun, the Hawking temperature is about 1/10,000,000th of a degree above absolute zero. For supermassive black holes, it is even lower, so in practice, the temperature is negligible. But in principle, it means that black holes are not completely black. They emit a faint radiation. And over unimaginably long time scales, this radiation causes them to lose mass. They evaporate. For stellar mass black holes, the evaporation time is far longer than the current age of the universe. For supermassive black holes, it is even longer. So this is not something we will ever observe directly, but it is a profound theoretical insight. It connects gravity, quantum mechanics, and thermodynamics. It suggests that black holes are not eternal, that even they are subject to the ultimate fate of the universe. This brings us back to the theme of cycles and rhythms. Black holes form, they grow, they merge, they evaporate. Everything in the universe follows a cycle. Nothing is permanent, but nothing is lost either. Energy and information are conserved, even if they change form, and the universe continues its slow, majestic evolution. Let's also consider the role of black holes in the larger cosmic web. Galaxies are not randomly distributed in space. They are organized into structures, clusters of galaxies, superclusters, filaments of galaxies stretching across hundreds of millions of light years. And between these filaments there are vast voids, regions with very few galaxies. This structure is sometimes called the cosmic web. It formed over billions of years as gravity pulled matter together. Black holes are part of this structure. Each galaxy in the web has its own black hole at the center, and as galaxies interact and merge, their black holes eventually merge too. This is how supermassive black holes grow over time, and how they become ever more massive. The cosmic web is constantly evolving. Galaxies are slowly drifting. Clusters are growing. Structures are becoming more defined, and black holes are playing their part in this grand story. They are not isolated oddities. They are integral components of the universe's architecture. As we think about the cosmic web, it's worth considering the scale of things. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old. It is unimaginably vast. The observable universe has a diameter of about 93 billion light years. This is the distance light has traveled, accounting for the expansion of the universe since the Big Bang. Within this vast expanse, there are trillions of galaxies. Each galaxy contains billions or even trillions of stars. And many of those stars may have their own black holes, either as companions or as their eventual fate. The numbers are staggering. They challenge our ability to comprehend. But they also remind us of our place in the cosmos. We are small, we are brief, and yet we are part of this immense, beautiful whole. We are made of the same atoms as the stars. We are governed by the same laws as black holes. We are participants in the grand story of the universe, and that is both humbling and uplifting. Let's explore the relationship between black holes and light more deeply. Light is fundamental to how we understand the universe. It carries information across vast distances. It allows us to see, and near black holes, light behaves in fascinating ways. Light always travels at the same speed in a vacuum, about 300,000 kilometers per second. This speed is a fundamental constant of nature. Nothing can travel faster, but light's path can be curved. When light passes through curved space-time, it follows the curvature. Near a black hole, this curvature is extreme. Light bends sharply. Close to the event horizon, light can be bent into orbits. It can circle the black hole. It can spiral inward, and once it crosses the event horizon, it can never escape. This is what makes the event horizon so special. It is the point of no return for light, and since nothing can travel faster than light, it is also the point of no return for everything else. But let's think about what this means for an observer far away. Imagine you are watching a spaceship fall toward a black hole. As the spaceship gets closer, several things happen. First, the spaceship appears to slow down. This is because of time dilation. Time near the black hole is moving more slowly compared to your time far away. Second, the light from the spaceship becomes redder. This is called gravitational redshift. The light has to climb out of the deep gravitational well. In doing so, it loses energy. Lower energy light has a longer wavelength, which we perceive as redder. Third, the spaceship appears dimmer. Fewer and fewer photons are reaching you. The ones that do are increasingly delayed. Eventually, the spaceship seems to freeze just above the event horizon. It becomes dimmer and dimmer, redder and redder, and finally, it fades from view. But this is just what you see from far away. From the perspective of the spaceship itself, nothing unusual happens at the event horizon. The journey continues smoothly. The spaceship crosses the horizon without any local indication that something special has occurred. Only later, as it continues to fall inward, do tidal forces become important. But that is a separate issue. The point is that the event horizon is not a physical barrier. It is just a point in space where the geometry changes in a particular way. Now let's think about light escaping from near a black hole. Even outside the event horizon, light has a hard time. Photons emitted very close to the horizon have to work hard to climb out of the gravitational well. They lose energy. They are redshifted. If they are emitted just slightly outside the photon sphere, they may barely escape. If they are emitted inside the photon sphere, they will eventually fall back in. This creates a boundary region where light can orbit the black hole multiple times before escaping or falling in. It is a delicate balance, a beautiful example of how gravity shapes the flow of light. Scientists use light to study black holes. By observing the spectrum of light from an accretion disk, they can determine the temperature and density of the gas. By observing how the light varies over time, they can learn about the size and structure of the region emitting the light. By observing the polarization of the light, they can study magnetic fields. Every property of the light carries information, and with careful analysis, scientists can decode that information. They can build a picture of what is happening near the black hole. Even though they cannot see the black hole itself, they can see its effects, and that is enough. One particularly interesting phenomenon is the iron-Ka line. This is a specific wavelength of light emitted by iron atoms. When iron in an accretion disk is illuminated by X-rays, it fluoresces. It emits light at this characteristic wavelength, but because the disk is moving, and because of the strong gravity near the black hole, this light is distorted. Parts of the disk moving toward us are blue shifted. Parts moving away are red shifted. Parts of the disk deep in the gravitational well are red shifted. The result is a broad, skewed line in the spectrum. By studying the shape of this line, scientists can measure how fast the disk is rotating. They can measure how close the disk gets to the black hole. They can even estimate the spin of the black hole itself. This is an example of how precise observations and careful analysis can reveal hidden information. It is an example of the power of modern astrophysics. Black holes also affect light in another way through a process called relativistic beaming. When material in a jet is moving at speeds close to the speed of light, the light it emits is concentrated in the direction of motion. If the jet is pointed toward us, it appears much brighter than if it were pointed away. This effect can make some black holes appear much brighter than others, even if they are similar in intrinsic luminosity. It is a reminder that our observations are affected by geometry, by perspective, by the angle at which we view things, and it is a reminder that the universe is three-dimensional and dynamic. Everything is moving, everything has an orientation, and understanding these factors is key to interpreting what we see. Let's also think about the absence of light. In the image of the black hole in Messier 87, the dark region in the center is the shadow of the black hole. This shadow is larger than the event horizon itself. It represents the region from which light cannot reach us, even if it is emitted outside the horizon. This is because light paths near the black hole are so bent that light emitted near the photon sphere is pulled around and either captured or sent in other directions. The shadow is an observational signature of the black hole. It is determined by the black hole's mass and spin. By measuring the size and shape of the shadow, scientists can test general relativity. They can confirm that the observed object is indeed a black hole, and they can measure its properties with remarkable precision. This is one of the triumphs of modern astronomy. A prediction made a century ago, confirmed by observations using technology that did not exist when the prediction was made. It is a testament to human ingenuity and persistence. As we think about black holes and light, we are reminded of how interconnected everything is. Light reveals the universe to us. Black holes shape the paths of light, and by studying that shaped light, we learn about black holes. It is a loop of discovery, a cycle of observation and understanding, and it continues day by day as new data is gathered and new insights are gained. Part 12. The silence of space is silent. There is no air to carry sound, no medium for vibrations to propagate. When we think of black holes, we might imagine roaring winds or deafening noises, but in reality, there is only silence. This silence is profound. It is peaceful. It is the natural state of the cosmos. Even the most energetic events, supernovae, black hole mergers, jets streaming at near-light speeds, all happen in perfect silence. From a distance, you would see light, you would see motion, but you would hear nothing. This is one of the beautiful paradoxes of space. Events of unimaginable energy unfold without a sound. The universe is a silent movie, a visual spectacle with no soundtrack, except of course for gravitational waves. Gravitational waves are not sound in the traditional sense, but scientists sometimes convert them into audio signals so we can hear them. When two black holes merge, the gravitational waves they emit have a characteristic pattern, a chirp, rising in frequency and amplitude as the black holes spiral together, culminating in a final burst as they merge. When this signal is converted to sound, it resembles a brief chirp or whoosh. It lasts less than a second, but it represents an event of cosmic significance. Two black holes, each with masses many times that of the Sun, coming together in a final embrace, releasing energy equivalent to the mass of several suns, all in a fraction of a second, and all in silence, except for the ripples in space-time that travel outward at the speed of light. When we listen to these converted signals, we are hearing the universe in a new way. We are hearing the vibrations of space-time itself. It is an indirect hearing, mediated by instruments, but it is still a form of listening, a way of tuning into the rhythms of the cosmos. And it reminds us that there are many ways to observe, many ways to understand. The silence of space is not empty. It is full of information, full of light, full of gravitational waves, full of particles streaming across vast distances. But it is silent in the acoustic sense, and that silence is part of its majesty. When astronauts describe their experiences in space, many mention the silence, the profound quiet when they are outside the spacecraft. No wind, no birds, no distant traffic, just the sound of their own breathing inside their helmets. And beyond that, silence. It is both eerie and peaceful. both isolating and connecting, because in that silence you are aware of the universe, aware of the vastness, aware of your small place within it, and aware that you are part of something much larger than yourself. Black holes, too, exist in this silence. They do not make noise. They do not announce themselves with sound. They simply are, warping space, bending light, shaping the motions of nearby objects, all in silence, all with a kind of serene inevitability. This silence is calming. It removes the urgency. It removes the alarm. It allows us to contemplate black holes as what they are, natural features of the universe, not threats, not monsters, just objects following the same physical laws as everything else. As you rest, imagine yourself floating in space, far from any planet, far from any star, surrounded by the silence. You see stars in every direction. They do not twinkle because there is no atmosphere. They shine steadily, constant points of light, and among those stars, invisible but present, there are black holes, quiet, distant, part of the landscape. You are safe in this imagined space. Nothing is rushing toward you. Nothing is threatening. There is only the calm expanse of the universe, only the gentle presence of distant objects, only the silence that wraps around everything like a soft blanket. Let this silence soothe you. Let it quiet your thoughts. Let it bring you deeper into rest, because in the silence there is peace. In the silence there is space to simply be, and that is all you need right now. The universe operates on timescales that are difficult for us to comprehend. Our lives are measured in years and decades. Human history spans thousands of years, but the universe measures time in millions and billions of years. This difference in scale is important. It is one of the reasons the cosmos feels so peaceful, because on cosmic time scales, everything moves slowly. Everything has time. Black holes are no exception. They form over thousands or millions of years as stars evolve. They grow over millions or billions of years as they consume material or merge with other black holes. They may eventually evaporate over timescales so long that the current age of the universe is a mere blink in comparison. This patience is inherent to the cosmos. Stars do not rush through their life cycles. Galaxies do not hurry through their evolutions. Even the expansion of the universe proceeds at a measured pace. And we, as observers, can take comfort in this. We can slow down. We can breathe. We can recognize that there is no urgency in the grand scheme of things. Consider the formation of a star. A cloud of gas and dust begins to collapse under its own gravity. This collapse takes hundreds of thousands of years. Gradually, the cloud contracts. It heats up. Eventually, the core becomes hot enough for fusion to begin, and a star is born. This process cannot be rushed. It unfolds according to the laws of physics, according to the properties of the gas and the strength of gravity, and the result is a star that will shine for millions or billions of years. The same patience applies to black holes. When a massive star runs out of fuel, its core collapses. But this collapse is the culmination of millions of years of stellar evolution. The star has been burning steadily, day after day, year after year, for eons, and only at the end does the collapse occur. Even then, the collapse itself takes only seconds, but it is the final step in a very long process. The black hole that forms is the product of this long story. It is the natural endpoint, and it will exist for far longer than the star did, potentially until the end of the universe itself. This long existence is part of what makes black holes so interesting. They are among the most stable objects in the universe. They do not decay like ordinary matter. They do not corrode or erode. They simply are, persisting through the ages, witnessing the slow changes around them. As galaxies evolve, as stars are born and die, as the universe expands, black holes remain. They are constants in a changing cosmos, anchors of permanence in a sea of transformation. When we observe distant galaxies, we are looking back in time. Light from those galaxies has been traveling for millions or billions of years. What we see is not what those galaxies look like now, but what they looked like when the light was emitted. In a sense, we are looking into the past, and in that past we see black holes. We see the light from material falling into them. We see the effects they have on their surroundings, and we realize that these black holes have been there for a very long time. They have been part of those galaxies for eons, and they will continue to be part of them for eons to come. This continuity is reassuring. It tells us that the universe is stable, that the laws of physics are consistent across time and space, that what we observe here and now is connected to what happens far away and long ago. We are part of a coherent whole, a universe that makes sense, even if it is complex and vast and sometimes mysterious. The patience of cosmic time also means that mistakes can be corrected. In science, errors are inevitable. But with time, more data is gathered, more observations are made, theories are refined, and our understanding improves. There is no deadline, no final exam, just the ongoing process of learning and discovery. And that process is itself a journey worth savoring. As you rest, think about time. Think about how much time there is, how much has passed, how much is yet to come, and recognize that in this vast expanse of time, this moment is just one among countless others. It is unique, it is valuable, but it is also part of a continuum, a flow that extends in both directions, backward to the Big Bang, forward to the far future, and you are here now, in this quiet moment, part of the flow, part of the universe, taking a moment to rest and reflect, and that is exactly where you should be. Gravity is the force that holds the universe together. It pulls matter into clumps. It creates structure. It governs the motions of planets, stars, and galaxies. And it is the key to understanding black holes. Gravity is always attractive. It always pulls objects toward each other. The strength of gravity depends on mass and distance. The more massive an object, the stronger its gravitational pull. The closer you are to an object, the stronger you feel its gravity. These simple rules give rise to complex and beautiful behaviors. Planets orbit stars in ellipses. Stars orbit the centers of galaxies. Galaxies themselves are drawn together into clusters. Everything is moving under the influence of gravity. Everything is participating in a cosmic dance. Black holes are exceptional partners in this dance. Because their gravity is so strong, they can influence their surroundings in dramatic ways. But even this influence follows predictable patterns. Stars orbiting a supermassive black hole follow precise paths. These paths can be calculated using the same equations that describe planetary motion. The only difference is the scale and the speed. Near a supermassive black hole, stars move very fast. Some reach speeds of thousands of kilometers per second. They complete their orbits in years or decades. We can watch them move. We can track their positions over time. And we can confirm that the equations of gravity are correct. Even in this extreme environment, gravity behaves as expected. The dance of gravity is orderly. It is predictable. It is beautiful. When two objects orbit each other, they trace out patterns in space. These patterns repeat. The orbits are stable, at least over long periods of time. This stability is what allows solar systems to exist. It is what allows galaxies to maintain their structure, and it is what allows us to predict where objects will be in the future. Black holes can also dance with each other. When two black holes orbit each other, they form what is called a binary system. The two black holes circle a common center of mass. They are bound together by gravity. As they orbit, they emit gravitational waves. These waves carry away energy, and as energy is lost, the orbit shrinks. The black holes spiral closer together. This process is very slow at first. When the black holes are far apart, they lose energy gradually. The orbit shrinks over millions of years. But as they get closer, the process speeds up. The gravitational waves become stronger. The orbit decays faster. Eventually, the black holes are orbiting each other many times per second. They are racing around each other at a significant fraction of the speed of light, and then they merge. The merger is rapid. It releases a burst of gravitational waves, and the two black holes become one, a single larger black hole. This process is a natural consequence of gravity. It is not violent in the sense of chaos. It is simply two objects coming together under their mutual attraction, like water droplets merging, like soap bubbles coalescing. It is a smooth, orderly process, and it results in a more stable configuration. The resulting black hole settles down, any distortions smooth out. The event horizon becomes spherical, or oblate if the black hole is spinning, and the new black hole continues its existence, now with a larger mass. The dance of gravity does not only involve black holes. Ordinary stars also orbit each other in binary systems. Planets orbit stars, moons orbit planets, asteroids orbit the sun. Everywhere we look, we see objects bound together by gravity, moving in harmony, following invisible but inexorable rules. This universal dance is one of the most fundamental features of the cosmos. It is what gives the universe its structure, what gives it its rhythm, and it is something we can understand, something we can predict, something we can appreciate. As you think about gravity, imagine it as a gentle pull, a constant presence, always drawing things together, never pushing away. It is the force that keeps you on the ground, the force that holds the Earth in orbit around the sun, the force that binds galaxies together across millions of light years, and it is the force that creates black holes, that shapes their environment, that governs their interactions. Gravity is patient. It does not hurry. It simply persists, and over time, it shapes everything. Let this thought relax you. Let it remind you that the universe is held together, that there is order, that there is structure, and that you are part of that structure, bound to the Earth by gravity, part of a planet orbiting a star, part of a galaxy swirling through space, part of the grand cosmic dance. At the center of most galaxies, there is a supermassive black hole, and around that black hole, there is often a region of relative calm. This might seem counterintuitive, but let's explore why this is so. The supermassive black hole at the center of a galaxy is surrounded by stars, but there is also a lot of empty space. The stars near the center orbit the black hole at high speeds, but they are not clustered densely enough to collide often. They pass by each other at great distances, and they continue on their orbits. The black hole itself, of course, occupies only a tiny volume. Even a supermassive black hole is small compared to the scale of the galaxy. The event horizon of a black hole with a mass of 1 billion suns is only about the size of our solar system. That sounds large, but in the context of a galaxy spanning hundreds of thousands of light years, it is minuscule. So even though the black hole is at the center, most of the galaxy's volume is far from it. Most stars never come close. They orbit at safe distances, and they experience the black hole's gravity as just one component of the overall gravitational field of the galaxy. In our own galaxy, the Milky Way, the supermassive black hole is called Sagittarius A star. It has a mass of about 4 million times that of the Sun. It sits at the galactic center, about 26,000 light years from Earth. We have never been close to it. We have never felt its direct influence. We orbit the galaxy in a wide, slow path, and the black hole is just part of the collective mass that holds the galaxy together. Sagittarius A star is relatively quiet. It is not currently consuming large amounts of material. There is no bright accretion disk, no powerful jets, just a black hole sitting at the center, contributing its mass to the galaxy. This quietness is typical. Most supermassive black holes spend most of their time in this dormant state. Only occasionally do they become active when material falls toward them. And even then, the activity is episodic. It comes and goes. The black hole flares up, then settles down again. This cycle is part of the life of a galaxy, part of the rhythm. At the center, then, there is often stillness, a kind of equilibrium. The black hole is there, but it is not dominating. It is not consuming everything in sight. It is simply part of the galactic ecosystem, one element among many. This stillness is calming. It suggests that even at the heart of a galaxy, there is balance. There is order. Things are not spiraling out of control. They are simply existing, simply being, simply following the patterns established over billions of years. The stars near the galactic center have been orbiting for eons. They have completed millions of orbits. They have traced the same paths over and over, and they will continue to do so for as long as the galaxy exists. This repetition is soothing. It is predictable. It is a reminder that the universe is stable, that it endures, that it continues. Even at the center, where one might expect chaos, there is instead a kind of peaceful persistence, a slow, steady continuation of motion, a rhythm that has been ongoing for billions of years and will continue for billions more. As you rest, imagine this stillness. Imagine the quiet center of the galaxy, the stars moving in their orbits, the black hole sitting silently, everything in balance, everything in its place, and recognize that this is the true nature of the cosmos, not chaos, not disorder, but a deep, abiding calm, a stillness that underlies all motion, a peace that is always present, even in the most energetic regions of space. Let this stillness fill you. Let it quiet your mind. Let it bring you into a state of deep rest, because you are part of this stillness, part of this calm, part of this peaceful universe. Humanity has always looked up at the sky and wondered. We have told stories about the stars. We have navigated by them. We have been inspired by them. And over time, we have come to understand them. The discovery of black holes is one of the great achievements of human thought. It began with mathematics, with Einstein's equations, with the realization that gravity could curve space-time so dramatically that not even light could escape. At first, this seemed impossible. It seemed too strange to be real, but the equations were clear, and scientists began to take the idea seriously. They began to look for evidence. They began to search for these exotic objects in the sky, and slowly, over decades, the evidence accumulated. Stars orbiting invisible companions, X-rays from regions with no visible source, gravitational waves from merging black holes, images of the shadows of black holes. Each piece of evidence added to the picture. Each observation confirmed what the theory predicted. And now, we know, black holes are real. They are part of our universe. They are not just theoretical curiosities. They are actual objects that we can study and understand. This is a testament to the power of human curiosity, to the power of careful observation and rigorous thinking, to the power of perseverance in the face of mystery. It is also a reminder that the universe is knowable, that it follows rules, that we can uncover those rules if we are patient and methodical. There is something deeply satisfying about this, about knowing that the universe makes sense, that it is not arbitrary, that it is governed by laws that we can discover and understand. This knowledge does not diminish the wonder. If anything, it enhances it, because now we can appreciate the universe more fully. We can see the beauty in the mathematics, the elegance in the equations, the profound order that underlies everything. Black holes are a perfect example of this. They are strange, they are extreme, but they are also understandable. They follow the same rules as everything else, and that is beautiful. As you rest, you can take comfort in this, in the fact that the universe is coherent, that it makes sense, that even the most mysterious objects can be understood with patience and effort. You do not need to understand all the details. You do not need to know all the equations. You simply need to appreciate that understanding is possible, that the universe is open to inquiry, that there is always more to learn, and that learning is a joyful process, a process of discovery, a process of connection, a process of becoming more aware of the vast, beautiful cosmos we inhabit. This is the gift of science, not just the knowledge itself, but the way of thinking, the openness to evidence, the willingness to revise beliefs when new data comes in, the humility to admit when we don't know, and the confidence to keep searching for answers. These are valuable lessons. They apply not just to astronomy, but to life, and they can help us navigate the complexities of existence with grace and curiosity. So as you drift deeper into rest, let these reflections settle in your mind. Let them remind you that the universe is a place of order and beauty, that it rewards curiosity with understanding, and that you are part of this grand adventure of discovery. Even if you are simply resting here now, you are connected to centuries of human inquiry. 2. Generations of people who looked up at the stars and asked questions, and to all the future generations who will continue to ask. You are part of the story, and that is a wonderful thing. The universe is expanding. This means that galaxies are moving away from each other, not because they are traveling through space, but because space itself is expanding. This is one of the most profound discoveries of modern cosmology, and it has implications for everything, including black holes. Let's explore this gently. In the 1920s, astronomer Edwin Hubble observed that distant galaxies are redshifted. Their light is shifted toward longer wavelengths. This redshift is proportional to distance. The farther away a galaxy is, the more redshifted its light. Hubble realized that this redshift could be explained if the universe is expanding. If space itself is stretching, then the light traveling through it is stretched too, and stretched light is redshifted. This was a revolutionary idea. It meant that the universe is not static. It is dynamic. It is changing over time. And if it is expanding now, then in the past it must have been smaller. If you extrapolate backward, you reach a point where all of space was compressed into a very small volume. This is the Big Bang, the beginning of the universe, not an explosion in space, but an expansion of space itself. The universe has been expanding ever since, and it will continue to expand. Over billions of years, galaxies drift apart. The distances between them grow. The universe becomes more diffuse. But this expansion is gentle. It is not rapid on human time scales. It is measured over millions and billions of years, and it does not affect objects that are bound together by gravity. For example, the Earth is not moving away from the Sun. The solar system is not expanding. Our galaxy is not expanding. These structures are held together by gravity, which is stronger than the expansion of space. Even clusters of galaxies, which are gravitationally bound, are not expanding. It is only on the largest scales, where gravity is weak, that the expansion becomes noticeable. So the expansion of the universe does not directly affect black holes. Black holes are not stretched by expanding space. They maintain their sizes. They continue to exist as they always have. But the expansion does affect the universe as a whole. It means that over time, galaxies that are not gravitationally bound will move farther apart. The universe will become more sparse. The distances between galaxy clusters will grow, and in the far future, galaxies outside our local group will become unreachable. They will be moving away faster than light can travel through the expanding space. They will disappear beyond a cosmological horizon, but this is a process that takes billions of years. It is not something to worry about. It is simply the natural evolution of the universe. The expansion also has implications for the ultimate fate of black holes. In the far future, when all the stars have burned out and the universe is cold and dark, black holes will be among the last objects remaining. They will drift through the void, slowly evaporating through Hawking radiation. Over timescales that dwarf the current age of the universe, they will gradually lose mass. They will shrink, and eventually they will disappear. This process is unimaginably slow, but it is the ultimate fate of black holes in an expanding, cooling universe. They are not eternal, they are temporary, like everything else, but their lifespan is so long that it is almost meaningless to call them temporary. In the context of the universe as we know it, they are effectively permanent, and that is good enough. The expansion of the universe also reminds us that the cosmos has a history. It had a beginning, it is evolving, and it will have a future that looks different from the present. This history is part of what makes the universe so interesting. It is not a static backdrop. It is a dynamic, changing entity, and we are lucky to live at a time when stars are still shining, when galaxies are still forming, when the universe is still vibrant and full of structure. Billions of years from now, this will not be the case. But for now, we have this moment, this era of cosmic richness, and we can appreciate it. As you rest, think about the expansion of the universe. Think about how slowly and gently it proceeds. Think about how it has been happening for billions of years, and how it will continue for billions more. There is no urgency, no crisis, just the slow, steady unfolding of cosmic destiny. And within that unfolding, you are here, in this moment, in this place, at peace. The black holes teach us many things. They teach us about gravity, about space-time, about the limits of our current theories. They challenge us to think deeply, to question our assumptions, to expand our understanding. And they do all of this without saying a word. They simply exist, and by existing they push the boundaries of physics. One of the things black holes teach us is that space-time can be curved dramatically. In our everyday experience, space seems flat. Time seems to flow uniformly. But near a black hole, these assumptions break down. Space is curved into a deep well. Time slows to a crawl, and our intuitions fail us. This is humbling. It reminds us that our everyday experience is not the whole story, that the universe is stranger and more complex than it appears. But it is also empowering, because it shows us that we can understand these strange phenomena. We can develop theories that describe them. We can make predictions and test them, and we can learn. Black holes also teach us about the relationship between general relativity and quantum mechanics. These are the two great theories of modern physics. General relativity describes gravity and the large-scale structure of the universe. Quantum mechanics describes the behavior of particles at the smallest scales. Both theories have been extraordinarily successful in their domains, but they do not fit together smoothly. At the center of a black hole, where both theories should apply, they give contradictory results. This suggests that one or both theories is incomplete, that there is a deeper theory waiting to be discovered, a theory of quantum gravity. Scientists have been working on this for decades. They have proposed many ideas: string theory, loop quantum gravity, others. But a complete, tested theory of quantum gravity remains elusive. Black holes are the testing ground for these ideas. They are the places where quantum effects and gravitational effects meet, and by studying black holes, scientists hope to uncover clues to the deeper theory. This is one of the great quests of modern physics, and black holes are at the center of it. They are not just objects to be observed, they are puzzles to be solved. They are teachers guiding us toward new understanding. Black holes also teach us about the nature of information. In quantum mechanics, information is never lost. It can be transformed, but it cannot disappear. But what happens to information that falls into a black hole? Does it vanish beyond the event horizon, never to return, or is it somehow preserved? This question, known as the black hole information paradox, has been debated for decades. Stephen Hawking initially argued that information is lost. Later, he changed his mind and suggested that it might be preserved. Recent research suggests that information may be encoded in the Hawking radiation that black holes emit, or it may be stored at the event horizon in subtle ways. The answer is not yet clear, but the question itself is profound. It touches on the deepest issues in physics: the nature of reality, the laws that govern the universe, the limits of what we can know. And black holes are at the heart of this inquiry. Another lesson from black holes is about the power of mathematics. Black holes were predicted by equations before they were observed. Einstein wrote down his equations in 1915. Carl Schwarzschild found a solution describing a black hole in 1916. But it took decades for scientists to understand what this solution meant, and decades more to find observational evidence. Throughout this time, the mathematics was clear. It pointed to the existence of these objects, and eventually, reality confirmed what the math had predicted. This is a recurring theme in physics. Mathematics often leads the way. It reveals possibilities that we had not imagined, and then we go out and search for those possibilities in the real world. Often, we find them. This is a testament to the deep connection between mathematics and nature, between abstract reasoning and physical reality, and it is something that continues to inspire scientists and mathematicians alike. Black holes also teach us humility. They remind us that there are limits to our knowledge, that there are things we do not yet understand, that the universe is vast and complex, and that we are still learning. This is not a cause for despair. It is a cause for wonder, because it means there is always more to discover, always more questions to ask, always more mysteries to explore. And that is exciting. It is what keeps science alive and vibrant. It is what draws people to study the cosmos. As you rest, you can appreciate the lessons of black holes, not by memorizing facts, but by simply recognizing their significance. They are reminders of how much we have learned and how much more there is to learn. They are invitations to curiosity, to exploration, to wonder, and they are part of the grand tapestry of the universe, a tapestry that we are privileged to study and appreciate. One of the most comforting aspects of the universe is that it follows laws, physical laws that are consistent, that apply everywhere, that do not change over time. These laws give the universe its structure, its predictability, its beauty, and they apply to black holes just as they apply to everything else. The law of gravity, as described by Einstein's general relativity, is universal. It applies on Earth, where it keeps us on the ground. It applies in the solar system, where it keeps planets in orbit. It applies in galaxies, where it shapes the motion of stars. And it applies to black holes, where it creates the extreme curvature of space-time. Everywhere we look, gravity behaves the same way. This consistency is reassuring. It means that the universe is coherent, that it makes sense, that we can understand it. The laws of thermodynamics also apply universally. Energy is conserved. Entropy tends to increase. Systems evolve toward equilibrium. These laws apply to stars, to planets, to living organisms, and they apply to black holes. Black holes have entropy, they have temperature, they follow the same thermodynamic principles as everything else. This suggests a deep unity in nature, a connection between seemingly disparate phenomena, and it hints at a simplicity underlying the complexity. The laws of quantum mechanics also seem to be universal. Particles behave in probabilistic ways. Wave-particle duality holds. Uncertainty principles apply. These laws govern the behavior of atoms, of molecules, of all matter, and they should also govern the behavior of matter near and inside black holes. Although we do not yet have a complete theory of quantum gravity, we believe that quantum mechanics will still apply. It will simply be integrated with gravity in a new and more complete theory. This faith in the universality of physical laws is fundamental to science. It is the assumption that the universe plays by the same rules everywhere, and so far this assumption has been borne out. Every time we test it, we find that the laws hold, that the universe is consistent, that we can trust our understanding. This trust is comforting. It means that even though the universe is vast and we are small, we can still make sense of it. We can still learn. We can still understand. And we can use that understanding to navigate the world. Physical laws also give us a sense of connection. We are made of atoms that follow the same laws as the atoms in stars. We experience gravity the same way that planets experience gravity. We are subject to the same thermodynamic principles as everything else. We are part of the universe, not separate from it. This connection is profound. It reminds us that we belong, that we are not isolated, that we are participants in the grand cosmic story. And that story is governed by laws that apply to all of us equally. As you rest, let the thought of physical laws soothe you. Let it remind you that the universe is orderly, that it is not chaotic, that it makes sense, and that you are part of something much larger than yourself, something that is governed by simple, elegant principles, something that is beautiful in its consistency. You do not need to understand all the details. You simply need to trust that the details are there, that the universe is understandable, and that you are safe within it. The laws that govern black holes also govern you. You are part of the same fabric of reality, and that fabric is strong, it is reliable, it is comforting. Let this knowledge relax you. Let it bring you peace. Let it carry you gently into deeper rest. And the universe is beautiful, not just in a visual sense, though there is certainly visual beauty in the stars, the galaxies, the nebulae, but also in a deeper, more abstract sense. There is beauty in the structure of the cosmos, in the way everything fits together, in the elegance of the physical laws, in the patterns that repeat across scales. Black holes are part of this beauty. They are extreme, yes. Unusual, yes. But they are also elegant. They are solutions to Einstein's equations. They are natural consequences of gravity. They are part of the order of the universe, and in that sense they are beautiful. Consider the symmetry of a black hole. A non-rotating black hole is perfectly spherical. Its event horizon is a sphere. It has no features, no blemishes, just perfect symmetry. This simplicity is aesthetically pleasing. It suggests an underlying purity, a distillation of complexity into something essential. Even rotating black holes have a kind of beauty. They have an axis of rotation, a geometry that is symmetric around that axis. They are oblate spheroids, slightly flattened at the poles, but still elegant, still governed by simple principles. The mathematics that describes black holes is also beautiful. The equations are compact, they are powerful. They describe vast, complex phenomena with just a few symbols. This is the beauty of mathematics, the ability to capture so much meaning in so little space, to express profound truths in simple forms. Scientists and mathematicians often talk about the beauty of an equation or a theory. They use aesthetic terms: elegant, beautiful, simple, harmonious. This is not just poetic language. It reflects a real sense that the universe has an aesthetic dimension, that it is not just functional, but also beautiful, and that the beauty is part of what makes it worth studying. The visual beauty of the cosmos is also striking. Images of galaxies swirling through space, nebulae glowing with the light of newborn stars, the intricate structure of the cosmic web. All of these images inspire awe and wonder. They remind us of the vastness and complexity of the universe, and they invite us to look deeper, to learn more, to appreciate the full richness of what is out there. The image of the black hole in Messier 87, with its glowing ring of light and dark shadow, is beautiful. It is visually stunning, but it is also intellectually beautiful, because it confirms a prediction made a century ago, because it shows us something we could never see with our eyes alone, because it represents the culmination of decades of work by hundreds of scientists. It is beautiful in many dimensions, and it enriches our understanding of the universe. There is also beauty in the process of discovery, in the way humans work together to solve problems, in the way we build on each other's ideas, in the way we persist in the face of challenges. The study of black holes is a collective endeavor. It involves astronomers, physicists, mathematicians, engineers. It involves people from all over the world working together, sharing data, comparing results, building toward a common goal. This collaboration is itself a beautiful thing. It is a testament to what humans can achieve when we work together, when we pool our knowledge and our efforts, when we pursue a shared vision of understanding. And it is a reminder that science is not just about facts and figures. It is also about people, about community, about the shared human desire to know and understand. As you rest, let the beauty of the cosmos fill your mind. Let it inspire you. Let it comfort you. Let it remind you that you are part of something beautiful, something vast and intricate and endlessly fascinating. You do not need to understand every detail. You simply need to appreciate that the beauty is there, that it is real, that it is all around you, and that you are part of it. The universe is not cold or hostile. It is magnificent. It is awe-inspiring. It is beautiful. And you are lucky to be here now, able to contemplate it. Let this thought fill you with peace. Let it quiet your mind. Let it bring you into a state of deep, restful appreciation, because there is so much to appreciate, so much beauty, so much wonder, and it is all here, waiting for you. As we continue, let us simply rest in the knowledge we have explored. Black holes are natural objects. They form from the collapse of massive stars. They exist at the centers of galaxies. They follow the laws of physics. They are part of the universe's structure. They are far away. They are peaceful. They are simply there, doing what black holes do, warping space-time, bending light, anchoring galaxies, slowly evolving over eons. There is nothing to fear from them. They are part of the cosmic landscape, part of the grand pattern, part of the story that has been unfolding for billions of years and will continue for billions more. As you rest, let your mind wander gently through the ideas we have discussed. Let them drift past like clouds. No need to hold on to them. No need to analyze them. Just let them be. Let them exist in your awareness, softly and calmly. Think of the stars orbiting the center of the galaxy, moving in their slow, graceful paths, year after year, century after century, always following the same patterns, always returning to the same points in their orbits. There is something deeply soothing about this repetition, this constancy, this predictability. It suggests that the universe is stable, that it endures, that it will be here tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. And you can rest in that knowledge. You can let go of worry. You can simply be. Think of the light traveling through space, photons journeying for millions or billions of years, carrying information from distant galaxies, eventually reaching our telescopes, allowing us to see the universe as it was long ago. This light is patient. It does not hurry. It simply travels steadily and calmly at the speed of light, yes, but without urgency, without anxiety, just moving through the void. You can be like that light, moving through your life at your own pace, calm and steady, not rushed, not anxious, just being. Think of the gravitational waves spreading through space, ripples in the fabric of space-time, carrying the news of distant mergers, traveling outward in all directions, passing through galaxies, through stars, through planets, eventually reaching Earth, where they are detected by sensitive instruments. These waves are gentle. They cause only the tiniest distortions, but they carry profound information. They tell us about events that happened long ago and far away, and they connect us to the wider universe. You are connected to the universe in the same way. You are part of the same fabric. You are subject to the same laws. You are made of the same elements, and you are participating in the same grand story. Even if you are simply lying here, resting, even if you are doing nothing at all, you are still part of it, still connected, still valued. Think of the slow evaporation of black holes, the faint Hawking radiation, so weak that it will never be directly observed, but real nonetheless. A process that takes longer than the age of the universe, but a process means to be slow, and yet it is part of the universe's evolution, part of the journey toward equilibrium. You do not need to be in a hurry. You have time, more time than you can imagine. In the grand scheme of things, this moment is eternal. You can rest here as long as you need. Let the universe continue its slow unfolding. Let the galaxies rotate. Let the stars shine. Let the black holes sit quietly at the centers of galaxies. And you can simply rest, simply be, simply exist in this moment of calm. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Just this, just now, just rest. Imagine yourself floating gently through space, not falling, just drifting, slowly and calmly. Around you, stars shimmer in the darkness. They are distant points of light, some bright, some dim, all of them beautiful. You are safe here. There is no sound, no wind, just the gentle presence of the stars. And in the distance, so far away that you cannot see it, there is a black hole. It is part of the galaxy, part of the structure, but it does not affect you. You are too far away. You are simply drifting, enjoying the view, appreciating the vastness. The stars around you have been shining for millions of years. Some of them may no longer exist. Their light is still traveling, carrying the image of the star as it once was. But the star itself may have already transformed, may have become a white dwarf or a neutron star or a black hole, and yet the light continues. It does not know that the star is gone. It just keeps traveling, carrying the past into the present. This is one of the strange and beautiful aspects of the universe. The past and present are mixed together. When we look at distant objects, we are seeing them as they were, not as they are. We are looking back in time, and that gives the universe a depth, a layering, a richness. As you drift, you can think about time, about how it flows differently in different places, about how it is connected to space in ways we do not usually notice. But you do not need to think hard about it. Just let the idea rest in your mind. Let it be there gently and calmly. You continue to drift, past one star, then another, each one unique, each one with its own story. Some stars have planets orbiting them. Some of those planets may have life. We do not know, but the possibility is there, and that is enough. The possibility is beautiful in itself. You drift past a nebula, a cloud of gas and dust. It glows softly, lit from within by young stars. The colors are subtle, reds and blues and purples. The nebula is a nursery, a place where stars are born, and someday some of those stars may become black holes, but that is far in the future. For now, they are just beginning their lives, just starting to shine, and the nebula cradles them gently. As you drift, you feel no fear, no anxiety, just calm, just peace. The universe is vast, but you are part of it. You belong here. You are safe here, and you can rest here as long as you need. The stars will continue to shine. The galaxies will continue to turn. The universe will continue to unfold, and you can simply be, simply drift, simply rest in the gentle embrace of the cosmos. And in the universe there is only now. The past has already happened. The future has not yet arrived. There is only this moment, this eternal now. And in this moment, you are here. You are resting. You are calm. Black holes exist in this now. They are not in the past or the future. They are here now, in the present moment of the universe. Even though they are far away, they are part of the same now that you occupy. This is one of the insights of relativity, that simultaneity is not absolute, that different observers may disagree about what is happening now, but for you, in your frame of reference, now is now, and in this now, you are at peace. The universe does not ask anything of you. It does not require you to understand everything. It does not expect you to solve all its mysteries. It simply invites you to exist, to be present, to appreciate what is, and that is enough, more than enough. As you rest in this eternal now, let go of the past. Whatever has happened has happened. It is part of the history of the universe, part of your history, but it is not here now. It is gone, and that is okay. Also, let go of the future. Whatever will happen, but it is not here yet. It is not now, and worrying about it will not change it. So let it go, and rest in the now, in this moment, in this breath, in this state of calm. The now is all you have, and it is enough. It is perfect. It is complete. You do not need anything else. You do not need to be anywhere else. You are here, now, and that is exactly where you should be. The universe has been evolving for 13.8 billion. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 2243 years, and all of that evolution has led to this moment. To you, here, now, resting, breathing, being. This moment is the culmination of everything that has come before, and it is the beginning of everything that will come after. But right now, it is just this, just you, just the gentle presence of the universe. And that is beautiful. Black holes, too, exist in this now. They are part of the present moment of the cosmos. They are not separate. They are not apart. They are here, with you, in the same universal now. And they are calm. They are patient. They are simply being, just like you. So rest in this knowledge. Rest in this moment. Rest in the eternal now, because it is all there is, and it is enough. As we near the end of this journey, let us simply rest in the calm we have found. There is no need to summarize, no need to conclude, just a gentle continuation of the peace we have been cultivating. Black holes are part of the universe. They are natural, they are distant, they are governed by the same laws as everything else, and they are nothing to fear. They are simply there, existing quietly in the vast expanse of space, playing their role in the cosmic story, contributing to the structure and evolution of galaxies, and reminding us of the depth and complexity of the universe. As you continue to rest, let these thoughts fade into the background. Let them become part of the ambient calm, like the hum of the universe itself, always there but not demanding attention, just present, just soothing, just part of the tapestry. You are safe, you are comfortable, you are at peace. The universe continues to unfold around you. Stars continue to shine, galaxies continue to turn, black holes continue to exist, and you continue to rest. All of this is natural, all of this is right, all of this is as it should be. There is no urgency, no pressure, no need to do anything at all. Just rest, just breathe, just be. The universe will take care of itself. It has been doing so for billions of years, and it will continue to do so. You do not need to worry. You do not need to think. You can simply let go and drift into deeper rest. The information we have explored is here for you whenever you need it. It is part of your understanding now, part of your awareness, but you do not need to hold on to it tightly. You can let it settle gently in your mind. Let it become part of the background, part of the foundation, and simply rest on that foundation, secure in the knowledge that the universe is vast, that it is ancient, that it is beautiful, and that you are part of it, part of this grand, peaceful cosmos, this ongoing story that has no end, only continuation, only the gentle unfolding of time and space, and you are here now, resting in it, being held by it, being part of it, and that is perfect. So let yourself sink deeper into rest. Let the calm wash over you like a gentle tide. Let the peace fill you completely, and let yourself simply be here, now, at rest, in the gentle, quiet universe, where black holes exist as part of the natural order, where stars shine steadily, where time flows at its own pace, and where you can rest as long as you need, safe, calm, at peace, forever. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 2244. Everything in the universe moves in rhythms, patterns that repeat, cycles that continue, and these rhythms are soothing. Planets orbit stars in elliptical paths. They complete their orbits in days or months or years. Each orbit is slightly different, but essentially the same path traced over and over, year after year. This repetition is calming. It suggests stability. It suggests that the universe is reliable, that it will continue. Moons orbit planets. Our own moon circles the Earth every 27 days. It has been doing this for billions of years, and it will continue for billions more. The tides rise and fall. In response, the ocean breathes in and out. This rhythm is ancient. It connects us to the deep past and to the distant future. Stars also have their rhythms. They pulse, they vary in brightness. Some stars expand and contract over days or weeks, growing brighter, then dimmer, then brighter again. This pulsation is predictable. It follows patterns, and astronomers use these patterns to measure distances across the universe. Even black holes have rhythms. When material falls into a black hole, it does not fall smoothly. It clumps. It varies. The brightness of the accretion disk flickers and changes, sometimes on timescales of seconds, sometimes on timescales of years, but always following patterns determined by the physics of the system, by the mass of the black hole, by the rate at which material is falling in, by the strength of magnetic fields. All of these create a signature, a rhythm unique to that particular black hole. And scientists can read this rhythm. They can decode it. They can learn from it. Galaxies, too, have their rhythms. They rotate. Our galaxy takes about 225 million years to complete one rotation. This galactic year is much longer than a human lifetime, much longer than all of human history, but it is a rhythm nonetheless, a slow, majestic turning. That has been happening since the galaxy formed, and will continue until the galaxy changes form. Even the universe itself has a rhythm. It expands. It has been expanding since the Big Bang, and it will continue to expand. This expansion is not perfectly smooth. It has variations, tiny fluctuations that date back to the earliest moments of the universe. These fluctuations grew into the structures we see today. The galaxies, the clusters, the cosmic web. All of this grew from patterns imprinted in the very beginning, and those patterns echo through time, creating a kind of cosmic rhythm, a memory of the early universe that persists in the structure of everything. As you rest, you can think about these rhythms, or you can simply feel them. Feel the slow turning of the galaxy. Feel the steady pulse of distant stars. Feel the ancient patterns that connect everything. You do not need to understand the details, just feel the rhythm, feel the consistency, feel the calm repetition, and let it soothe you. Let it carry you deeper into rest, because you are part of these rhythms too. Your heart beats in rhythm. Your breath moves in rhythm. You are a rhythmic being, living in a rhythmic universe, and all the rhythms fit together. All the patterns connect. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. Everything moves in harmony. Everything belongs, including you. So rest in this harmony. Rest in this rhythm. Let it hold you. Let it comfort you. Let it remind you that you are exactly where you should be, moving with the universe, breathing with the cosmos, being part of the eternal rhythm of existence. In the universe, there is much more space than matter. The distances between objects are vast, and in these spaces, there is mostly emptiness. This emptiness is peaceful. It is not lonely. It is not void. It is simply space, room for things to exist, room for things to move, room for light to travel. Between Earth and the Moon, there is space, about 380,000 kilometers of it. This seems like a great distance, but it is tiny compared to interstellar distances. Between our sun and the nearest star, there is much more space, about 4.2 light years. That is about 40 trillion kilometers, a distance so vast that even light takes years to cross it. And in that space, there is almost nothing, a few atoms per cubic meter, a few particles drifting through the void, but mostly just emptiness. This emptiness is not threatening. It is simply there. It allows the stars to exist as separate entities. It gives them room. It prevents them from colliding constantly, and it creates the beautiful vista we see when we look up at the night sky. Between stars, there are sometimes clouds of gas and dust. These clouds are thin, far less dense than any vacuum we can create on Earth, but they contain material, hydrogen and helium mostly, with traces of heavier elements. These clouds are where new stars are born. Slowly, over millions of years, they collapse, they fragment, and they give birth to new generations of stars. So even the spaces between stars are not truly empty. They contain potential. They contain the seeds of future structure. They are pregnant with possibility. Between galaxies, the space is even vaster. Millions of light years separate one galaxy from another, and in those spaces there is very little. A few stray stars, perhaps, stars that have been ejected from their home galaxies, wandering alone through the intergalactic void. There are also clouds of hot gas that fills the space between galaxies and clusters. This gas is thin and hot. It glows faintly in X-rays, but it is there, a tenuous connection between galaxies, a reminder that even the largest voids are not completely empty. And then there are the cosmic voids themselves, regions where there are very few galaxies at all. These voids are enormous. They span hundreds of millions of light years, and they contain almost nothing. They are the largest empty spaces in the universe, but even they are not absolute voids. There is still some matter, still some radiation, still the faint presence of dark matter and dark energy. The voids are part of the cosmic web. They are the spaces between the filaments of galaxies, and they give the universe its structure. Without the voids, there would be no web. Without the empty spaces, there would be no pattern. So the emptiness is essential. It is part of what makes the universe beautiful. What gives it form? What allows it to be what it is? As you rest, you can think about these spaces, these quiet regions between things, and you can recognize that space itself is valuable. Room to breathe, room to exist, room to simply be. You do not need to fill every moment. You do not need to fill every space. You can simply rest in the emptiness, in the quiet, in the space between thoughts, and that space is peaceful. That space is restorative. That space is where rest happens. So let yourself sink into that space. Let yourself float in the quiet emptiness. Let yourself be held by the vastness, and recognize that this is natural. This is good. This is exactly what you need. Space, quiet, rest, in the gentle emptiness of the universe, where black holes drift silently, where stars shine across vast distances, and where you can simply be at peace, at rest, at home in the cosmos. When we think about black holes, it helps to take the long view, to zoom out, to see things on the time scale of the universe. From this perspective, everything looks different. What seems urgent becomes calm. What seems chaotic becomes ordered. What seems frightening becomes natural. On the time scale of billions of years, black holes are patient objects. They form slowly. They evolve slowly. They change slowly. Nothing happens quickly. Nothing is rushed. A star that will become a black hole spends millions of years burning its fuel. It shines steadily. It lives its life, and only at the very end does it transform. Even then, the transformation, though rapid by cosmic standards, is still the culmination of a long process. The black hole that results exists for far longer than the star did. It may exist for trillions of years, longer than the current age of the universe, longer than we can meaningfully comprehend. This is the long view. the perspective of deep time. From this view, our individual lives are brief, a few decades in a universe that is billions of years old. This might seem to diminish us, to make us seem insignificant, but it can also be freeing because it means that our worries are temporary, our anxieties are momentary. The universe will continue long after we are gone, and that is comforting. It takes the pressure off. It allows us to relax, to recognize that we do not need to solve everything. We do not need to fix everything. We can simply be here, now, for this brief moment, and that is enough. The long view also shows us patterns. From up close, things seem random, chaotic, unpredictable, but from far away, patterns emerge. Cycles become visible. Order appears. This is true of black holes as well. Up close, the details are complex. The equations are intricate. The physics is challenging. But from the long view, black holes are simple. They are points of mass in space. They curve space-time. They attract matter. They exist. That is all. The long view also shows us that black holes are not unique. They are part of a larger story, the story of matter and energy in the universe. Matter clumps together under gravity. It forms structures, stars, planets, galaxies, and sometimes black holes. Each of these is a different form that matter takes, a different expression of the same underlying reality, and each is temporary. Even black holes, which seem eternal, will eventually evaporate. It will take an unimaginable amount of time, but it will happen. Nothing is truly permanent. Everything changes, everything transforms. And this is part of the beauty, part of the natural flow. From the long view, we can see that change is not something to fear. It is simply what the universe does. It evolves, it transforms, it continues, and we are part of that continuation. Our atoms were forged in stars. They have existed for billions of years before we were born, and they will continue to exist after we are gone. They will become part of other things, other structures, other forms. Nothing is lost. Everything is recycled. Everything continues in a new form. This is the long view, the perspective that sees beyond individual moments, that sees the patterns, the cycles, the continuation. And from this view, everything is peaceful. Everything is in its place. Everything is as it should be. So as you rest, try to adopt this long view. Try to see yourself from the perspective of cosmic time. You are a brief flicker, a moment of consciousness in the vast flow of the universe. But you are also eternal, because the atoms that make you up are eternal, because you are part of the pattern, part of the cycle, part of the ongoing story. And that is beautiful, that is meaningful, that is enough. So rest in this knowledge, rest in the long view, and let the peace of deep time wash over you, calming you, soothing you, reminding you that everything is okay. Everything has always been okay, and everything will continue to be okay forever. Just as space is silent, there can be silence within you, a quiet place, a place of rest, a place where thoughts settle and worries fade. This inner silence is natural. It is always available. Sometimes it is obscured by the noise of daily life, by thoughts and concerns, by plans and memories. But beneath all of that, the silence remains, and you can return to it. You can sink into it. You can rest there. Black holes, in their way, are like this inner silence. They are places where the noise of the universe settles, where light is absorbed rather than reflected, where information goes in but does not come out. They are quiet, still, at rest, and in their stillness, they have a kind of peace. You can cultivate this same stillness within yourself, not by forcing thoughts away, but by simply allowing them to settle, like sediment in water. When water is stirred, it becomes cloudy, but if you let it sit undisturbed, the sediment settles to the bottom, and the water becomes clear. Your mind is like this water. When it is active and stirred, it is full of thoughts, but when you allow it to rest, the thoughts settle, and clarity emerges. This clarity is not empty. It is full of quiet awareness, full of presence, full of peace. In this inner silence, you can simply be. You do not need to think about black holes. You do not need to think about anything. You can just rest in the silence, in the stillness, in the peace. And the peace is enough. It is complete. It is whole. This inner silence is your natural state. It is where you return when you are at rest, when you are not striving or doing or thinking. Just being, and being is enough. You do not need to accomplish anything. You do not need to understand anything. You can simply rest in the silence and let the silence hold you. Let it support you. Let it comfort you. The universe is vast and silent, and you are part of that vastness, part of that silence. You carry the universe within you, in your atoms, in your structure, in your being, and you can rest in that knowledge, rest in the connection, rest in the silence that connects you to everything. So let your breathing slow, let your thoughts settle, let the silence emerge, and rest there in the quiet, in the peace, in the gentle inner stillness that is always available, always present, always waiting for you to return. This is your refuge, your place of rest, your inner sanctuary, and it is as vast and peaceful as the space between stars, as quiet as the heart of a black hole, as eternal as the universe itself. So rest here, rest now, rest in the silence within, and let it carry you into deep, peaceful sleep. As we continue this gentle journey, let us drift even deeper into a place of profound calm, where thoughts are like distant stars, present but not demanding, visible but not bright, just there softly existing in the background. Black holes are part of this cosmic landscape. They exist quietly. They do not call out. They do not demand attention. They simply are, part of the natural fabric of space and time. And in their existence, there is a lesson, a reminder that being is enough, that existence itself is sufficient, that you do not need to do anything. You can simply be, like a black hole, resting in space, like a star, shining steadily, like a galaxy, turning slowly through the eons. You can exist without effort, without striving, without struggle. Just being is enough. And in this moment, you are being, you are breathing, you are resting, you are part of the universe, and the universe is at peace with you. It does not ask you to be anything other than what you are. It does not require you to understand all its mysteries. It simply invites you to exist within it, to rest within it, to be held by it. And you can accept this invitation. You can let go of all effort, all concern, all thought, and simply rest in the embrace of the cosmos. The cosmos is gentle. It is patient. It has been here for billions of years, and it will be here for billions more. There is no rush, no urgency, no deadline, just the slow, eternal unfolding of time. And you are part of that unfolding, a small part perhaps, but a real part, a valued part, a part that belongs. So as you drift deeper into rest, let yourself feel this belonging. Let yourself feel held by the universe, supported by the same forces that hold the stars in their orbits, cradled by the same space-time that curves around black holes. You are safe. You are supported. You are exactly where you should be. And everything is okay. Everything has always been okay. Everything will always be okay. Because the universe is vast enough to contain everything, patient enough to allow everything, gentle enough to hold everything, including you, including your rest, including this moment of peace. So let yourself sink even deeper. Let the weight of your body relax completely. Let your muscles soften. Let your breathing become so gentle that you barely notice it. Let your mind become quiet. Let thoughts drift by like clouds, present but not important, visible but not demanding, just passing through. And in the space between thoughts there is peace. In the silence between breaths, there is rest. In the stillness of this moment, there is everything you need. You do not need to go anywhere. You do not need to become anything. You are already complete, already whole, already perfect as you are, and you can rest in this completeness, rest in this wholeness, rest in this perfection, because it is real, it is true, it is here, now, in this moment, and it will be here in every moment, always available, always waiting, always ready to receive you. So rest, drift, let go, and allow yourself to sink into the deepest, most peaceful rest, the rest that comes from knowing you are part of something vast, something ancient, something beautiful, the rest that comes from being held by the universe itself. And in this rest, you are safe, you are loved, you are home. In the end, there is only peace, only the gentle, quiet presence of the universe, only the slow turning of galaxies, the steady shine of stars, the patient existence of black holes, and you, resting in the midst of it all. You are part of this cosmic dance, part of this eternal story, part of this beautiful, mysterious universe, and the universe is glad you are here. It welcomes you, it holds you, it supports you in every moment. So rest now, rest deeply, rest completely. Let the universe carry you. Let it hold you in its gentle embrace. Let it remind you that you are safe, that you are valued, that you belong. Black holes are out there, far away, doing what they do, existing quietly in the vast expanse of space, contributing to the structure of galaxies, playing their role in the cosmic story, and you are here, doing what you do, resting quietly in this moment, contributing to the universe simply by being, playing your role in the cosmic story. And both are perfect, both are necessary, both are part of the whole. So rest in this knowledge, rest in this peace, rest in this eternal embrace, and know that you are exactly where you should be, now and always, in the gentle, peaceful universe, where everything belongs, where everything has its place, where everything is held in the eternal embrace of time, of space, of existence itself. Rest now, sleep peacefully, dream gently, and know that the universe is with you, always. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 22:47. Light from distant galaxies has been traveling for billions of years. It left its source when the universe was young, when the first galaxies were just forming, when the first black holes were just beginning their long existence. And now, after all that time, the light arrives here. It reaches our telescopes. It tells us stories of the ancient past. This light is patient. It has crossed unimaginable distances. It has passed through expanding space. It has been stretched and redshifted, but it has persisted, and now it whispers to us, tells us about things that happened long ago, about stars that shone when the universe was a fraction of its current age, about galaxies that were young and active, about black holes that were just beginning to grow. These whispers are gentle. They do not shout. They do not demand. They simply arrive, carrying their information across the cosmos, and we receive them. We listen. We learn. In the same way, you can think of your own memories as ancient light, things that happened in your past, experiences that shaped you, moments that defined you. They are still with you, like light from distant galaxies, but they are not here now. They are part of the past, and you can let them be part of the past. You can honor them, acknowledge them, but you do not need to hold them tightly. You can let them drift, like light passing through space, present but not overwhelming, visible but not consuming, just there gently in the background. The light from ancient galaxies teaches us about the history of the universe, but it does not define what the universe is now. The universe has continued to evolve, to change, to grow, and the light is just a record, a beautiful record, but only a record. In the same way, your past is a record. It tells you where you have been, but it does not determine where you are going. You are here now, in this moment, and this moment is fresh, new, full of possibility. So as you rest, let the ancient light of your memories drift by. Let them pass like photons through space, beautiful in their way, meaningful in their way, but not binding, not restricting, just passing through. And in the space they leave behind, there is room. Room for rest, room for peace, room for simply being here, now, without the weight of the past. The universe is always making new light. Stars are always shining. New photons are always being created. And in the same way, you are always creating new moments, new experiences, new opportunities to rest, to be, to exist in peace. So let the ancient light whisper its stories, but know that you are not bound by them. You are free. Free to rest, free to let go, free to simply be here now in this gentle moment. And the universe follows patterns that can be described with mathematics, equations that capture the behavior of matter and energy, formulas that predict the motion of planets and stars, calculations that reveal the nature of black holes. But you do not need to know these equations to feel their effect. You do not need to understand the mathematics to benefit from the order they describe. The order is there, the patterns are real, and they create a universe that is stable, predictable, safe. When a planet orbits a star, it follows an ellipse. This shape is determined by mathematics, by the balance between gravity and momentum, by the laws of motion that govern all things. And because these laws are consistent, the orbit is stable. The planet returns to the same positions year after year. It does not fly off randomly. It does not spiral into the star. It simply continues its pattern forever, or at least for billions of years. This mathematical order is reassuring. It means the universe is not chaotic. It is not random. It follows rules. And those rules create beauty. They create harmony. They create the kind of order that allows life to exist, that allows planets to have stable climates, that allows stars to shine steadily, that allows galaxies to maintain their structure. Black holes, too, are described by mathematics. Einstein's field equations predict their existence. They describe how space-time curves around a concentration of mass. They explain the event horizon, the singularity, the way time behaves near the black hole. All of this comes from mathematics, from pure thought, from the recognition that the universe follows logical patterns, and those patterns can be discovered, can be understood, can be appreciated. Even if you do not know the equations yourself, you can appreciate what they represent. They represent order, consistency, the deep logic of the cosmos, and that logic is comforting. It tells you that the universe makes sense, that it is not arbitrary, that there is a reason things are the way they are, and that reason is beautiful. As you rest, you can let this mathematical order support you, not by thinking about equations, but simply by recognizing that the order exists, that you live in a universe governed by consistent laws, that everything around you follows patterns, that there is structure beneath the apparent complexity, and that structure holds everything together, including you. Your body follows mathematical patterns. Your heart beats in rhythm. Your lungs expand and contract. Your cells divide and grow according to chemical equations. Your very existence is a manifestation of the order of the universe. You are not separate from this order. You are part of it. You are an expression of it, and that means you belong. You fit. You are exactly as you should be, mathematically, physically, cosmically. So rest in this knowledge. Rest in the certainty that you are part of a ordered universe, a universe that makes sense, a universe that is stable and reliable, and let that certainty bring you peace. Deep peace, the peace that comes from knowing you are held by laws that never change, by patterns that endure, by a cosmic order that has existed since the beginning and will continue until the end. Imagine the universe as an ocean, a vast, deep ocean of space and time. In this ocean, galaxies are like islands, scattered across the surface, separated by great distances, but all part of the same ocean. Black holes are like deep trenches in this ocean, places where the floor drops away, where the depths are profound, but they are still part of the same ocean, still connected to everything else. And you are floating in this ocean, gently, safely, supported by the water. You do not need to swim. You do not need to struggle. You can simply float and let the ocean hold you. The ocean is calm. There are no waves here, no storms, just the gentle, quiet depth, the endless expanse, the peaceful presence of all that is. As you float, you can look around. You can see distant galaxies like islands on the horizon, faint and far away, beautiful in their distance. You can see stars shining above you, points of light in the darkness, each one a sun, each one a world of its own, and you can see nothing, vast stretches of nothing, the empty spaces between things, and those empty spaces are peaceful. They are not lonely, they are not frightening, they are simply space, room to exist, room to breathe, room to float. Beneath you, somewhere far below, there might be a black hole, but you do not feel it. You are too far away, too safely distant. It is just part of the ocean floor, part of the landscape, part of what makes the ocean what it is. And you are safe here, floating on the surface, supported by the vastness, held by the gentle presence of space itself. The ocean does not ask anything of you. It does not require you to understand it. It simply holds you, supports you, allows you to exist within it, and you can rest in this support. You can let go of all effort, all tension, all worry, and simply float, trusting the ocean to hold you, trusting the universe to support you, trusting that you are safe because you are. You have always been safe. You will always be safe in the cosmic ocean, where everything floats together, where everything is connected, where everything belongs. So float now, rest now, let the ocean hold you, and know that you are exactly where you should be, floating in the gentle cosmic ocean, where black holes rest on the ocean floor, where galaxies drift like islands, and where you can simply be at peace, at rest, at home. The universe speaks a language that requires no words. It is the language of silence, of presence, of simply being. Black holes are fluent in this language. They do not make sound. They do not emit signals that we can hear. They simply exist. And in their existence, they communicate. They tell us about gravity, about space-time, about the nature of reality, not through words, but through their effects, through the way they bend light, through the way they influence nearby objects, through the way they shape the galaxies they inhabit. This is a silent communication, but it is powerful, it is real, it is meaningful. You too can speak this language, the language of presence, of simply being here, of existing without explanation, without justification, without words. In silence, there is a kind of communication that goes deeper than words, a recognition of shared existence, an acknowledgement of being. You do not need to say anything. You do not need to explain yourself. You can simply be. And in that being, you communicate everything that needs to be communicated. You exist. You are here. You are part of the universe. And that is enough. The silence is not empty. It is full of presence, full of awareness, full of the quiet recognition that existence itself is meaningful. In this silence, you can rest. You do not need to fill the space with thoughts, with plans, with worries. You can let the silence be. Let it surround you. Let it hold you. And in the silence, you can hear something deeper, not a sound exactly, but a kind of knowing, a sense of connection, a feeling of belonging. This is what the universe has been trying to tell you all along, not through words, but through the silent presence of everything, through the stars that shine without speaking, through the galaxies that turn without announcing, through the black holes that exist without explaining. All of it is saying the same thing. You belong. You are part of this. You are welcome here. And you can rest in this welcome, rest in this belonging, rest in the silent assurance that you are exactly where you should be. So listen to the silence, not with your ears, but with your whole being, and let it tell you what you need to know, that you are safe, that you are held, that you are loved by the universe itself, not with words, but with the silent, eternal presence of all that is. Everything in the universe persists. It continues. It endures. This persistence is gentle, not forceful, not aggressive, just a quiet continuation of existence. Black holes persist. Once formed, they exist for immense periods of time. They do not need to do anything to continue existing. They simply are, and that being continues. Stars persist. They shine for millions or billions of years, burning their fuel steadily, existing without effort, just being what they are. Galaxies persist. They turn through space. They maintain their structure. They continue. And even when galaxies merge, they do not disappear. They transform. They become something new, but they persist in a new form, with a new structure, but still existing, still continuing. This gentle persistence is everywhere in the universe. It is the default state of things. Things continue to exist unless something actively disrupts them. And even then, they transform rather than disappear. Energy is conserved. Matter is conserved. Everything continues in some form. Nothing is truly lost. You too persist. You continue to exist, moment by moment, breath by breath. You do not need to work hard at existing. It happens naturally. Your heart beats. Your lungs breathe. Your cells renew themselves. All of this happens without effort, without struggle, just the gentle persistence of being. And you can rest in this persistence. You can trust it. You do not need to hold yourself together. You do not need to force yourself to continue. You simply do, naturally, inevitably, like a star shining, like a galaxy turning, like a black hole existing. You persist. And in this persistence, there is peace, because it means you do not need to worry about continuing, about existing, about being here tomorrow. It will happen naturally, as it always has, as it always will. So rest in this gentle persistence. Rest in the knowledge that you will continue, that the universe will continue, that everything will keep going, not because of effort, but because persistence is the natural state of things, and you are part of that natural state, part of the ongoing existence of the cosmos, part of the gentle, quiet continuation that has no end, only transformation, only change, only the eternal persistence of being in all its forms, forever. Time moves differently in different parts of the universe. Near a black hole, it slows. In empty space, it flows at its own pace. On Earth, it moves at the rate we experience every day. But all of these times are real. All are valid. All are part of the same cosmic fabric. As you rest, time becomes less important. Minutes and hours blur together. The urgency of the clock fades, and you enter a different kind of time. The time of rest, the time of dreams, the time where moments stretch and compress without concern. This is your time, personal time, the time you experience in your own frame of reference. And in this time, you can rest for as long as you need. There is no deadline, no appointment to keep, just this moment, extending peacefully in all directions. Black holes exist in their own time. For them, billions of years pass, but they do not hurry. They do not rush. They simply exist, moment by moment, in their own experience of time. And you can do the same. You can exist in your own time, at your own pace, without comparing yourself to anything else, without worrying about how much time has passed, just being here, now, in this eternal moment. The universe is patient with time. It has billions of years, trillions of years ahead, timescales so vast that our entire human history is less than a blink. And in that vastness, there is room for you to rest all the time you need, more time than you could ever use, time stretching out before you like an endless ocean. So let go of the urgency of time, let go of the pressure of minutes and hours. Let yourself sink into timelessness, into the eternal now where rest happens, where sleep happens, where peace happens. In this timelessness, nothing is rushing you, nothing is pushing you forward. You can simply be here as long as you want, as deeply as you need, resting in cosmic time, where a moment can last forever and forever can pass in a moment, where time becomes flexible, soft, accommodating, holding you gently in its endless flow. And you can rest here, rest now, rest always, in the gentle, timeless present, where black holes wait patiently, where stars shine endlessly, and where you can simply be, at peace, at rest, in cosmic time, forever. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 2249. You are made of stardust. This is not poetry. This is fact. The atoms in your body were forged in stars. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, calcium, phosphorus. All of these elements were created in stellar furnaces, in the cores of ancient stars that lived and died long before Earth existed. Those stars burned for millions of years. They fused lighter elements into heavier ones, and when they reached the end of their lives, some of them exploded. They scattered their elements into space, into clouds of gas and dust, and from those clouds new stars formed, and planets, and eventually you. So when you rest here, you are resting stardust, ancient material, cosmic material, material that has traveled through space and time, that has been part of many things before becoming part of you. This connects you to everything, to the stars above, to the planets around other suns, to the galaxies spinning in the distance. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are made of the cosmos. You are the universe experiencing itself, resting itself, knowing itself. And that is beautiful. The atoms in your left hand might have come from a different star than the atoms in your right hand. They might have traveled different paths through space for billions of years before finally coming together to form you. What are the chances of that? What remarkable fortune that these particular atoms from these particular stars would find each other and become you in this moment, in this place, resting here. It is almost miraculous, and yet it is also natural. It is what the universe does. It brings things together. It creates combinations. It makes new forms from old materials, and you are one of those forms, a temporary arrangement of stardust, conscious, aware, capable of knowing your own origin, capable of resting in wonder. The weight you feel is the weight of stardust, ancient and heavy with meaning, but also light, because stardust floats through space. It drifts on stellar winds. It moves without effort. And you can feel that same lightness, that same ease. You do not need to carry the weight of the world. You are already carrying the weight of stars, and that weight is perfect. It is exactly what it should be. It is you. So rest this stardust body. Let it sink into comfort. Let it release all tension. Let it remember that it is made of the same material as stars, strong enough to burn for billions of years, patient enough to wait for eons, gentle enough to form into something as delicate as you. and know that this stardust will continue. When you are done with this particular form, when this arrangement dissolves, the atoms will remain. They will return to the universe. They will become part of other things, other stars perhaps, other planets, other forms of beauty. Nothing is lost. Everything continues. You are eternal in this way, not as this specific form, but as stardust, as cosmic material, as part of the ongoing story. So rest peacefully, rest deeply, rest knowing that you are made of stars, and to stars you will return, and all of it is natural, all of it is beautiful, all of it is exactly as it should be. Your heart beats steadily, rhythmically, pushing blood through your body, keeping you alive, but between each beat, there is a moment of stillness, a pause, a tiny silence. This is the moment of rest, the moment when the heart gathers itself for the next beat. This moment is essential. Without it, the heart could not continue. It needs these small pauses, these tiny rests, to sustain its rhythm. The universe has these pauses too, moments of stillness between events, spaces of quiet between motions. Even in the most active regions of space, there are pauses, moments when nothing happens, when everything simply is. Black holes exist in a kind of permanent pause. They are still. They do not vibrate. They do not oscillate. They simply exist in a state of profound stillness. Only at their surfaces, where matter swirls, is there motion. But at the heart of the black hole, there is only stillness. Only the quiet presence of concentrated mass. Only the calm center. You can find this calm center within yourself, in the stillness between heartbeats, in the pause between breaths, in the silence between thoughts. These moments are always available. They are always there. You simply need to notice them, to rest in them, to allow them to expand. And as you rest now, you can feel these pauses. Feel the stillness between heartbeats. Feel the quiet between breaths. And let that stillness grow. Let it fill you. Let it become your dominant experience. Not the beating, not the breathing, but the stillness between them. This is where deep rest lives. In the pauses, in the spaces, in the moments when nothing is happening. And you can rest there. You can sink into those moments. You can let them hold you, because they are strong enough, deep enough, real enough. The stillness is not absence. It is presence, pure presence. The presence of being without doing, of existing without acting, of simply being here. And that is enough, more than enough. So rest in the stillness between heartbeats. Rest in the pause between breaths. Rest in the calm center, the place that is always still, always quiet, always at peace, like the heart of a black hole, like the center of a galaxy, like the deep core of your own being. Rest there, now, always. Gravity is patient. It never hurries. It never forces. It simply pulls, gently, constantly, inevitably. Over time, gravity shapes everything. It pulls gas clouds together until they collapse into stars. This takes hundreds of thousands of years, but gravity does not mind. It continues pulling, patient, persistent, certain. It pulls planets into orbits and keeps them there for billions of years, the same orbit traced over and over. Because gravity is patient, it does not tire, it does not waver, it simply is. Black holes are the ultimate expression of gravity's patience. They exist for timescales that dwarf everything else. They pull in material slowly, bit by bit, atom by atom. There is no rush, no urgency, just the slow, steady accumulation of mass over eons. Gravity teaches us about patience, about the power of gentle, consistent pressure, about the way small forces applied over long periods can create profound effects. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to push. You can be like gravity, gentle, consistent, patient. Rest comes not from forcing yourself to relax, but from simply allowing it, from letting go of resistance, from letting yourself be pulled naturally into rest, like a planet pulled into orbit, like gas pulled into a star, like matter pulled toward a black hole. You can let yourself be pulled toward rest, and gravity will do the work, gently, naturally, inevitably. You do not need to make it happen. You simply need to stop resisting, stop fighting, stop holding on, and let gravity pull you down into softness, down into comfort, down into the deep rest that is always waiting. Gravity is always there, always pulling, always inviting you to let go, to sink down, to rest, and you can accept this invitation. You can let gravity have its way. You can trust it, because it has been holding the universe together for billions of years. It knows what it is doing. It is reliable. It is constant. It is gentle. So let gravity pull you into rest. Let it draw you downward, into comfort, into softness, into the deep, restful place where nothing is required of you, where you can simply be, simply rest, simply let gravity hold you as it holds the planets, as it holds the stars, as it holds even the black holes, all of us held by gravity, all of us resting in its gentle embrace, all of us exactly where we should be. If you could hear the universe, what would it sound like? Not the literal sounds, for space carries no sound, but if you could translate the motions into music, the rhythms into melody, what would you hear? Perhaps you would hear the slow, deep tones of galaxies rotating, notes that take millions of years to complete, frequencies so low that no human ear could perceive them, but vast, profound, foundational. Perhaps you would hear the higher notes of stars, each one vibrating at its own frequency, some pulsing regularly, some varying in brightness, all contributing their own voice to the cosmic choir. And black holes, what would they sound like? Perhaps they would be the pauses in the music, the rests between notes, the moments of silence that give shape to the sound. For without silence, there can be no music, only noise. The pauses are essential. They create rhythm, they create meaning, they allow the notes to breathe. And in this cosmic symphony, you are also a note, a brief, beautiful tone. Your frequency is the frequency of your life, your heartbeat, your breath, your thoughts and feelings, all of it creating a unique sound that has never been heard before and will never be heard again. You are unrepeatable. You are original. You are your own music, and you fit perfectly into the cosmic symphony. Your note is needed. It belongs. It makes the whole composition more complete. Even now, as you rest, you are making music. The slow music of rest, the gentle rhythm of breathing, the quiet melody of a mind settling into peace. This is your contribution to the universe right now, and it is perfect. It is exactly what is needed. So rest in your music. Rest in your note. Let it sound clearly and purely, without strain, without effort, just the natural tone of your being, resonating in harmony with everything else, with the stars, with the galaxies, with the black holes, all of us making music together, a symphony of silence and sound, of motion and stillness, of being and becoming, and you are part of it, an essential part, a beautiful part, a part that makes the whole more complete. So rest now. Let your music be the music of rest. Let your contribution be the contribution of peace. And know that it is enough, more than enough. It is perfect. In the great symphony of the cosmos, you are exactly the right note, at exactly the right time, playing exactly the right music, forever. As you rest more deeply, the boundaries begin to soften. The distinction between you and the space around you becomes less clear. This is natural. This is safe. This is the way deep rest feels. You are not disappearing. You are simply expanding, becoming aware of how much space you actually occupy, not just your physical body, but your awareness, your presence, your being. These extend beyond the limits of your skin. They reach out into the space around you. They connect with everything. In the vastness of space, boundaries are arbitrary. Where does one galaxy end and another begin? Where does the solar system end and interstellar space begin? These are useful distinctions, but they are not absolute. Everything blends, everything connects, everything is part of the same cosmic fabric, and so are you. You are not a separate thing. You are a part of the whole, a temporary concentration of matter and energy, but still connected to everything else, still part of the same universe. As you dissolve into vastness, you do not lose yourself. You find yourself, your true self, the self that is not limited to this body, this moment, this place, but the self that is eternal, cosmic, connected to all things. Black holes, in a way, dissolve boundaries completely. At the event horizon, the distinction between inside and outside becomes absolute, but also meaningless, because nothing that crosses can return to tell the difference. The boundary is there, but it is also not there. It is a threshold into mystery, into the unknown, into the place where our understanding dissolves. And that is okay. That is part of the beauty. Not everything needs to be understood. Some things can simply be experienced, simply felt, simply allowed. As you rest, let yourself dissolve a little. Let the boundaries soften. Let your awareness expand beyond your body. Feel the space around you. Feel the air touching your skin. Feel the surface beneath you supporting you. And feel beyond that. Feel the room, the building, the earth, the space beyond earth. All of it connected, all of it one thing. And you are part of that one thing, not separate, not isolated, but intimately connected, intimately part of the whole. This dissolving is not frightening. It is liberating, because it means you are so much more than you thought. You are not just this small body, this small mind. You are vast, you are cosmic, you are infinite in your connections, and you can rest in that vastness. You can let yourself expand into it. You can let the boundaries dissolve and simply be part of everything, connected to everything, one with the cosmos, one with the stars, one with the black holes, one with all that is. And in that oneness, there is peace, deep peace, the peace of belonging, the peace of connection, the peace of knowing you are never alone, never separate, always part of the vast, beautiful whole. So dissolve now, expand now, let the boundaries fade, and rest in the vastness, the infinite vastness that holds you, that is you, that has always been you, forever. You are very small. Compared to a black hole, you are almost nothing. Compared to a galaxy, you are invisible. Compared to the universe, you barely exist at all. And this is comforting, because it means the universe does not depend on you. It will continue whether you are here or not. It will go on, and that takes the pressure off. You do not need to hold everything together. You do not need to fix everything. You do not need to be everything. You can simply be small, simply be insignificant, and rest in that insignificance. The universe is so vast that your worries are too small to matter. Your anxieties are too brief to register. Your problems are too temporary to affect anything. This is not meant to diminish you. It is meant to free you from the burden of importance, from the weight of thinking everything depends on you. It does not. The universe is fine. It has been fine for billions of years before you existed. It will be fine for billions of years after you are gone. And right now, it is fine with you resting, with you doing nothing, with you simply being small and insignificant and at peace. Black holes are significant. They shape galaxies. They influence the evolution of the cosmos. They are important, and yet, even they are small compared to the universe as a whole. Even they are just small parts of the vast whole. If even black holes are insignificant in the grand scheme, how much more insignificant are we? And how much more free does that make us? Free to rest, free to let go, free to stop trying so hard, because our efforts, in the grand scheme, do not matter that much. And that is okay. That is more than okay. That is perfect. It means we can relax, we can be small, we can rest in our insignificance and find peace there. You do not need to be important. You do not need to be remembered. You do not need to leave a legacy. You can simply be here, now, for this brief moment, and then be gone, like a ripple on the surface of a vast ocean, briefly visible, then absorbed back into the whole. And that is beautiful. That is natural. That is exactly how it should be. So rest in your smallness. Rest in your insignificance. Let it comfort you. Let it free you. Let it allow you to simply be, without pressure, without expectation, without the burden of mattering too much. You matter just enough. You are here. You are part of the universe, and that is sufficient. But the universe does not depend on you, and that is a gift. The gift of freedom, the gift of rest, the gift of being small in a vast, caring cosmos. So rest now, rest in your smallness, and find peace there, deep, restful peace, the peace of knowing you can let go, you can stop trying, you can simply be small, and that is enough. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 22:154. The universe breathes, not with lungs, but with expansion and contraction, with cycles that repeat over vast timescales. Stars are born and die. This is the universe breathing, inhaling hydrogen and helium, exhaling heavier elements, creating and releasing over and over. Galaxies form and merge. This too is breathing, drawing matter together, releasing energy, growing and transforming. The universe itself expands, space stretches, distances grow. This is like one long, slow exhalation that has been happening for billions of years and will continue for billions more. You breathe too, in and out, in and out. Your rhythm is faster than the universe's rhythm, but it is the same pattern, the same cycle. Breathing in, you draw in air, oxygen that was created in stars, breathed out by plants, shared by every living thing. Breathing out, you release carbon dioxide, which plants will use, which will become part of the cycle again. Nothing is wasted. Everything continues. Your breath connects you to everything, to the stars that made the oxygen, to the plants that released it, to every other person breathing right now, to every living thing that has ever breathed. You are part of the breathing of the planet, part of the breathing of the cosmos. And as you breathe now, slowly and calmly, you are participating. You are doing what the universe does. You are following the pattern, the ancient pattern, the pattern that has been repeating since the first stars formed, since the first complex molecules appeared, since the first life breathed its first breath. You are continuing that pattern, and that is beautiful. Black holes, in their way, also breathe. They draw in matter slowly over time. They accumulate mass. This is like inhaling, and through Hawking radiation, they very slowly release energy back into space. This is like exhaling, so slow it is barely perceptible, but it is there. The same pattern, the same cycle. Even at the extremes of physics, the pattern holds. Everything breathes. Everything participates in the cycle. As you rest, let your breathing become very gentle. So gentle you barely notice it. Let it become automatic, natural, effortless. Let your body breathe itself without you directing it, without you controlling it. Just let it happen. The way the universe breathes, the way stars breathe, the way everything breathes, without effort, without thought, simply following the pattern that has always been. And in this gentle breathing, find peace, find connection, find the rhythm that connects you to all things. You are breathing the breath of the cosmos, the same atoms moving in and out, that have moved in and out of countless other beings. that will continue to move long after you are gone. You are part of the eternal breath, the endless cycle, the universal rhythm, and you can rest in that rhythm. Let it carry you, let it hold you, let it breathe you. You do not need to breathe. You are being breathed by the universe itself, by the pattern that sustains all things, and you can surrender to it completely, totally, letting go of all control and simply being breathed by the cosmos, by existence itself, by the gentle eternal rhythm that has no beginning and no end, only continuation, only breath, only the endless cycle of which you are part, now and always. The space between stars is vast beyond imagination. Light, traveling faster than anything we know, takes years to cross it. Our nearest stellar neighbor is over 4 light years away. That is about 40 trillion kilometers, a distance so large it becomes meaningless in ordinary terms. And yet, that is one of the closest stars. Most stars are much farther apart. In the galaxy, stars are separated by light years, sometimes dozens of light years, sometimes hundreds. All that space, all that distance, all that emptiness between the points of light. This distance is important. It gives each star room to exist, room to shine without interference, room to have its own planets, its own system, its own small corner of the universe. Without this distance, stars would collide. They would disrupt each other. They would not be able to exist as stable systems. The distance protects them, gives them space, allows them to be. You need distance too. Distance from your concerns, distance from your worries, distance from the things that press upon you. And as you rest here, you can create that distance. You can imagine yourself moving away from everything, drifting away like a star moving through space. The concerns are still there, but they are getting farther away, smaller, less pressing. You are creating space between yourself and them, vast space, light years of space, so much space that they can barely affect you anymore. They are just distant points now, faint and far away, not gone, but distant enough that they cannot disturb your rest. This is the gift of distance, the gift of space, the gift of separation. You do not need to solve everything. You do not need to fix everything. You can simply move away from it. Create distance. Let the space grow between you and your worries until they are as far away as distant stars, visible but not pressing, present but not urgent, just there, far away in the distance. And here you are, in your own space, your own quiet corner of the universe, where you can rest undisturbed, where nothing can reach you, where the distance protects you, the vast peaceful distance that surrounds you on all sides, separating you from everything that would disturb your rest. You are like a star in space, surrounded by vast distances, protected by emptiness, free to simply exist, to shine if you wish, or to rest quietly if you prefer. Either way, the distance is there, the space is there, holding you safely apart from everything else, and you can rest in that distance, rest in that separation, rest in the vast protective emptiness that surrounds you, that holds you, that keeps you safe. So let everything be far away. Let the distance grow. Let yourself drift into the peaceful space between, where nothing reaches, where nothing presses, where there is only quiet, only rest, only the gentle, vast distance that protects all stars and protects you now and always. Light remembers where it has been, not consciously, of course, but it carries information. Every photon that reaches your eye has traveled from somewhere. It has bounced off surfaces, passed through space, carried the image of what it touched, and when it reaches you, you see that memory. You see where the light has been. The light from distant galaxies has been traveling for billions of years. It carries memories of the ancient universe, of galaxies as they were long ago, young and active, different from how they are now, but we see them as they were, because the light remembers. The light from stars carries memories of stellar surfaces, of temperatures and compositions, of processes happening millions of kilometers away. But the light brings those memories here, delivers them to our telescopes, to our eyes, so we can see. Even the light in this room carries memories of the surfaces it has touched, the walls, the ceiling, the objects around you. Each photon has bounced off something before reaching you, and in that bouncing, it has collected information that your eyes decode into images, into awareness of the space around you. Light is a messenger, a carrier of memories, a bridge between distant places and distant times, and you are surrounded by these memories, these messages from elsewhere, these photons that have traveled to reach you. As you rest, you can think of yourself as resting in memories of light, surrounded by information from the past, from distant places, all of it arriving here now to this moment. But you do not need to read all these messages. You do not need to process all this information. You can simply let the light wash over you. Let it be here without demanding your attention. Let the memories drift by, unread, unexamined, just present, like light from distant galaxies, arriving but not demanding, present but not insistent, just here, quietly, carrying its memories. Your own memories are like this too. They are present. They carry information from your past, but they do not need to be examined right now. They can simply be there, like distant light, present but not pressing, available but not demanding, just part of the background, part of the gentle presence of all that has been. And you can rest among these memories, rest among these lights, without needing to engage with them, without needing to understand them, just letting them be, like photons passing through space, present but not interfering, traveling but not disturbing, just moving through, carrying their memories elsewhere, to other times, other places, other moments of awareness. And you can rest here, in the gentle light, surrounded by memories, but not bound by them, free to simply be, free to simply rest, free to let the light remember while you forget, while you sink deeper into the present moment, where no memory is needed, where no information is required, where there is only rest, only peace, only the gentle presence of light that asks nothing of you, that simply is and lets you be. In beneath your thoughts, there is something deeper, a level of awareness that does not think, that simply is. This is the level where rest happens, where peace lives, where you can simply exist without the constant activity of the mind. Thoughts are like waves on the surface of the ocean. They rise and fall, they move and change, they create patterns, but beneath the waves there is depth, calm depth, unmoving depth, where the water is still. Even when the surface is active, the depths remain calm. Even when thoughts are moving, the deeper awareness remains still, and you can sink to that depth. You can let yourself descend below the thoughts, below the surface activity, into the calm depths. Black holes exist at depths we cannot fathom, depths of gravity, depths of space-time curvature, depths where our normal concepts break down. But even those depths are real, even those depths exist, and in their way, they are calm. They are simply there, beyond thought, beyond understanding, beyond the surface level of reality. You have depths like this too, depths below thought, below emotion, below the surface activities of consciousness. And in those depths, there is peace, there is stillness, there is a kind of existence that is simpler than thinking, more fundamental than feeling, just pure being. As you rest, you can sink to these depths. You can let thoughts continue on the surface if they wish, but you do not need to stay on the surface with them. You can descend, slowly, gently, like sinking through water, letting the surface get farther and farther above you, until the waves barely affect you, until the movements are distant, until you are in the calm depths, where nothing moves, where nothing changes, where there is only stillness. This is not unconsciousness. This is not absence. This is presence without thought, awareness without content, being without doing, and it is deeply restful because nothing is required here. No thinking, no understanding, no processing, just existence, just being, just the pure awareness of presence. In the depths, you are not asleep, but you are not actively awake either. You are in a state between, a state of deep rest, where the mind is quiet, where the body is still, where everything settles into its natural state. This is where healing happens, where restoration occurs, where the system rebalances itself, not through effort, but through the simple fact of being at this depth, of resting below thought, of existing in the calm space beneath the surface. So continue sinking, continue descending. Let yourself drop below the level of thought, below the level of concern, below the level where anything is required, into the depths, the calm, eternal depths, where black holes exist in their profound stillness, where the core of the earth rests in molten silence, where the foundation of all things simply is, and where you can rest completely, totally, at the depth below thought, where peace is not something you achieve, but something you are. As you rest more deeply, the darkness gathers. This is natural, this is safe, this is the darkness of rest, the darkness that comes when the eyes close, when the lights dim, when the day ends and night begins. This darkness is gentle, it is not threatening. It is the darkness of space, the darkness between stars, the darkness that holds everything. In space, most of the universe is dark. The stars are bright points against vast darkness. The galaxies are islands of light in an ocean of dark, and the darkness is not empty. It is full of potential, full of possibility, full of the quiet presence of space itself. Black holes are the darkest points in this already dark universe, places where even light cannot escape, where darkness is absolute, and yet they are not frightening. They are simply there, part of the natural order, part of the balance between light and dark. You can rest in darkness. You can let it surround you. You can let it hold you like a soft blanket. The darkness is restful. It removes visual stimulation. It quiets the eyes. It allows the mind to settle, without images to process, without light to interpret. There is only the gentle dark, and in that dark, you can rest more deeply. The darkness gathers around you now. It comes from all directions. It fills the space. It becomes complete. And in this complete darkness, you are safe. You are held. You are protected. Nothing can disturb you here. Nothing can intrude. The darkness keeps everything away. It creates a boundary between you and the world, a soft, dark boundary that nothing can cross. So you can rest here in the darkness, without concern, without worry, without needing to see anything, or know anything, or understand anything, just resting in the dark, the way the universe rests between stars, the way black holes rest at the centers of galaxies, the way everything rests when the light is gone, and the dark is not absence, it is presence, the presence of rest, the presence of peace, the presence of the deep, quiet darkness that allows everything to simply be, without observation, without measurement, without judgment, just being in the dark, where nothing is seen, where nothing is known, where there is only rest, deep, dark rest, the rest of the universe, the rest of the cosmos, the rest that comes when the light fades and only darkness remains. Gentle darkness, safe darkness, restful darkness, holding you, surrounding you, protecting you in its soft, eternal embrace. Everything settles eventually. Dust settles to the ground, sediment settles to the bottom of the ocean, thoughts settle in a quiet mind, and you can settle now. Settle into this moment, settle into this rest, settle into the deep peace that has been building. There is nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. This is the place of settling, of coming to rest, of allowing everything to find its natural level. Your body settles into the surface beneath you, your weight fully supported, no tension holding you up, no effort keeping you in place, just gravity pulling you down. and the surface pushing up in perfect balance. Your breath settles into a gentle rhythm, so slow you barely notice it, so quiet it hardly moves, just the minimal breathing necessary, automatic, natural, effortless. Your mind settles into quiet, thoughts becoming fewer, spaces between them becoming larger, until there is more space than thought, more silence than activity, more rest than movement, everything settling, everything finding its place, everything coming to rest. This is natural. This is what things do when left alone. They settle. They find equilibrium. They come to peace. The universe settles too. Over vast timescales, everything is settling. Energy is spreading out. Temperatures are equalizing. The universe is moving toward a state of maximum rest, of perfect equilibrium, of complete peace. This will take trillions of years, but it is happening, slowly, inevitably, everything settling, and you are part of this settling. Your small system, your small moment of rest, is part of the universal settling, the cosmic movement toward peace, toward equilibrium, toward rest. So let yourself settle completely now. Let every last bit of tension dissolve. Let every thought fade. Let every concern drift away and simply settle, like dust in still air, like sediment in calm water, like the universe approaching its final equilibrium. Settle, rest, be completely still, completely at peace, completely settled into this moment, this place, this deep restful state where nothing moves, where nothing changes, where everything has found its place and can simply be at rest, forever settled, forever peaceful, forever at ease, in the gentle settling of all things, into rest, into peace, into the deep eternal calm that has always been waiting and now receives you completely. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 2256. When you hold on to something, there is weight. The weight of carrying, the weight of responsibility, the weight of keeping something with you. But when you let go, there is lightness, a release, a freedom, a sense of floating. You can let go now. Let go of everything you have been holding. The concerns about tomorrow, the memories of yesterday, the need to understand, the need to control, the need to be anything other than what you are right now. Let it all go. When astronauts float in space, they experience weightlessness, not because there is no gravity, but because they are in free fall, falling and moving sideways at the same time, in perfect balance, so that they feel nothing, no pull, no weight, just floating. You can experience this weightlessness too, not physically, but in your being, by letting go of what you carry, by releasing your grip, by allowing yourself to float free. Nothing holds you down except what you hold on to, and you can release it all. Every burden, every weight, every heavy thing you have been carrying. Just open your hands, open your mind, open your heart, and let it all float away. Black holes. Release nothing once it crosses the event horizon. They hold on to everything, but you are not a black hole. You are free to let go, free to release, free to float weightless. And in that weightlessness, there is profound rest, because carrying requires effort. Holding requires tension, but floating requires nothing. You simply allow it. Allow yourself to be held by something larger, by the universe itself, by the natural flow of things, by the gentle current that carries all things. And when you stop swimming against it, when you stop trying to control where you go, you discover that you float, effortlessly, naturally, held by the water itself. This is the weightlessness of surrender, the lightness of acceptance, the ease of simply allowing what is. You do not need to hold yourself together. You do not need to keep everything in place. You can let go and trust that you will not fall apart. Trust that you will simply float, peacefully, safely, held by forces much larger than yourself. So release your grip now. on whatever you have been holding. Let your fingers uncurl. Let your mind unclench. Let everything you have been carrying simply drift away into the darkness, into the distance, into the vast space where it no longer concerns you, and feel the lightness that remains, the weightlessness, the freedom of having nothing to hold, nothing to carry, nothing to keep, just yourself, light, free, floating in the gentle weightlessness of complete release, of total letting go, of perfect rest. In the universe, there is no urgency. Nothing is rushing. Nothing is late. Everything happens at exactly the pace it happens, and that pace is perfect. Stars take millions of years to form. They are never late. They are never behind schedule. They simply form when they form, at their own pace, in their own time. Galaxies collide over hundreds of millions of years. This is not slow. This is simply the pace of galaxies, the natural speed at which such enormous things move, and it is perfect. Black holes accumulate mass over billions of years, slowly, patiently, one atom at a time. They are never in a hurry, never rushing, never anxious about how long it takes. They simply exist and allow time to pass and things to happen at their own pace. You can adopt this same absence of urgency. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to rush through rest. You do not need to accomplish sleep quickly. You can simply allow it at whatever pace it happens. If sleep comes quickly, that is fine. If it comes slowly, that is also fine. There is no schedule, no deadline, no requirement for when it must happen, only the gentle allowance of time passing and rest deepening at its own natural pace. The universe has been unfolding for 13.8 billion years. It will continue for trillions more. There is no rush, no hurry, no sense that anything needs to happen faster than it is happening. Everything is occurring at exactly the right speed. The perfect speed. The only speed it could possibly occur. And you are part of this. Your rest is unfolding at exactly the right pace. Your breathing is moving at exactly the right rhythm. Your thoughts are settling at exactly the right speed. Nothing needs to be different. Nothing needs to be faster or slower. Everything is exactly as it should be in this moment, at this pace, with this timing, perfect, complete, exactly right. So release any sense of urgency, any feeling that you should be somewhere else in the process, any thought that rest should have come by now, or that sleep should already be here. It will come when it comes, at exactly the right moment, the perfect moment, the only moment it could come. And until then, you can simply rest, simply be here, simply allow time to pass, without urgency, without impatience, without any need for things to be different than they are. The universe is not in a hurry. Black holes are not in a hurry. Stars are not in a hurry. And you do not need to be in a hurry either. You can simply exist at your own pace, in your own time, allowing everything to unfold naturally, gently, perfectly, without urgency, without rush, without any need for speed, just the slow, natural unfolding of rest, of peace, of this perfect moment, happening at exactly the right pace, now, and now, and now, forever. Silence has a texture. It is not empty. It is not nothing. It has a quality, a presence, a feeling. The silence of space is absolute, perfect, unbroken by any sound. It has been there since before sound existed, and it will remain after all sound has ceased. This silence is not lonely. It is complete. It is whole. It is the natural state of the universe. The silence around you now has its own texture. Perhaps you can hear faint sounds in the distance, or perhaps everything is quiet. Either way, there is a quality to the silence, a depth, a presence that you can feel rather than hear. This silence is holding you, supporting you, creating a space where rest can happen. In the silence, there is no demand for response, no call for attention, No requirement to do anything. The silence simply is, and it allows you to simply be, without interaction, without engagement, without any need to participate. You can sink into the silence, let it surround you completely, let it fill every space, every gap, every corner of your awareness, until there is nothing but silence, rich, textured silence, silence that is almost tangible, almost solid, supporting you like water supports a floating body. The silence of the universe is patient. It has waited for billions of years. It will wait for billions more. It is never disturbed by its own waiting, never impatient, never demanding that something happen. It simply continues, quiet, present, eternal, and you can rest in this same quality of silence, this patient, present, eternal quiet that asks nothing, that demands nothing, that simply holds space for you, for your rest, for this moment of peace. The texture of silence is soft, like velvet, like deep water, like the space between stars, soft and yielding, gentle and accepting, receiving you completely, without resistance, without judgment, without any need for you to be other than you are. So rest in the silence, feel its texture, its presence, its gentle, supporting quality, and let it hold you completely, totally, in its soft, eternal embrace, where no sound will disturb you, where no noise will intrude, where there is only silence, perfect silence, complete silence, the silence of the cosmos, holding you now, always, forever. There's a place between sleep and waking, a threshold, a boundary that becomes less clear the deeper you rest. You do not need to be fully asleep to rest deeply. You do not need to be fully awake to be aware. There is a space between, a gentle middle ground, where consciousness softens but does not disappear, where awareness continues but becomes dreamy, where you are both here and not here, both present and drifting, both aware and releasing. This is the borderland, the place where rest is deepest, where the mind is quiet but not absent, where the body is still but not unconscious. This borderland is peaceful. It is a place of profound rest, more restful than activity, but different from the complete absence of sleep. It is its own state, its own experience, its own kind of peace. In space, boundaries are often unclear. Where does the atmosphere end and space begin? Where does the solar system end and interstellar space begin? Where does one galaxy end and the space between galaxies begin? These boundaries are gradual. They fade rather than cut sharply. They transition rather than divide. And the boundary between waking and sleeping is the same. It is not a line you cross. It is a gradient you descend, slowly, gently, moving from one state toward another, but lingering in the space between, where both exist together, where you are neither fully one nor fully the other, but something in between, something that partakes of both, something that is perfectly restful. You can rest here in this borderland. You do not need to cross completely into sleep. You can hover here in this gentle, peaceful middle space where thoughts come and go like distant clouds, where awareness ebbs and flows like a gentle tide, where you are present but not engaged, aware but not active, here but also drifting. This is enough. This is perfect. This is exactly where you need to be, not forcing yourself into sleep, not holding yourself in wakefulness, just allowing yourself to exist in the space between, in the soft, blurred boundary, where rest is deepest, where peace is most complete, where you can simply float between states, between worlds, between waking and dreaming, in the gentle borderland that asks nothing of you, that requires nothing from you, that simply holds you softly, gently, in its peaceful, indefinite embrace, neither here nor there, but perfectly, restfully between. No matter how far you wander, you can always return to stillness. No matter how active your mind becomes, stillness is always available. No matter what happens, stillness remains, waiting, patient, always ready to receive you. Stillness is not something you create, it is something you return to, like coming home, like finding your way back to a place you have always known. Stillness is your natural state. Before thought, before movement, before anything began, there was stillness, and stillness remains beneath everything, under all activity, under all motion, under all change. The still center, the quiet foundation, the unchanging ground. Black holes are still at their cores, no matter what swirls around them, no matter how much material falls toward them. At the very center, there is stillness, complete stillness, absolute stillness, the stillness of pure being. You have this same still center, this same quiet core, no matter what happens on the surface of your life, no matter what thoughts move through your mind. The still center remains, unchanged, undisturbed, perfectly at peace. And you can always return to it, always come back to it, always find it waiting for you, exactly as it has always been, exactly as it will always be. Still, quiet, at peace. Returning to stillness is not difficult. You do not need to achieve it. You do not need to create it. You simply need to stop moving away from it. Stop running. Stop seeking elsewhere, and allow yourself to return, to settle back, to come home, to the stillness that has always been there, waiting for you. The stillness welcomes you. It does not judge how long you have been away. It does not ask where you have been. It simply receives you, completely, unconditionally, as it always has, as it always will. So return now. Return to the stillness. Let everything else fall away. Let all activity cease. Let all movement stop, and simply return to the still center, to the quiet core, to the peaceful foundation. That has always been yours. That will always be yours. That is you. At the deepest level, beneath everything else, you are stillness. You are peace. You are the quiet that cannot be disturbed, and you can rest here, now, always, in the eternal stillness that never changes, that never leaves, that is always home, waiting for your return and receiving you now, completely, eternally, in perfect stillness, perfect peace, perfect rest. Words are becoming less important now. They are fading into the background, like distant stars becoming fainter as dawn approaches. You do not need words to rest. You do not need language to be at peace. You can simply be, beyond words, beyond language, beyond the need to name or describe anything. In the beginning, before language, there was only being, only existence, only presence. And that was enough. That is still enough. You can return to that wordless state, that pre-language peace, where nothing needs to be said, where nothing needs to be understood, where there is only the direct experience of being, without translation, without interpretation, without words. The universe exists mostly without words. Stars shine without naming themselves. Galaxies turn without describing their motion. Black holes exist without announcing their presence. All of it simply is, without language, without words, without the need for any of that. And you can be the same. You can exist without words, without thinking in sentences, without forming thoughts into language, just existing, just being, just present, in the wordless space, the space before language, the space beyond language, the space where words dissolve and only being remains. This is the deepest rest, the rest beyond words, where even these words you are hearing now are fading, becoming less distinct, less important, less necessary, until they are just sounds, just rhythms, just gentle vibrations that mean nothing, that require nothing, that simply wash over you, like waves on a shore, present but not demanding, there but not insisting, just passing through this gentle space, this wordless peace. So let the words fade now, let language dissolve, let meaning slip away, and simply be, here, now, beyond words, beyond thought, beyond anything that can be said or known. just being, just resting, just peace, wordless, perfect, complete. Everything is becoming softer, the boundaries, the edges, the distinctions between things, all softening, blurring, fading into gentle indistinction. Your body is soft, relaxed completely, no hard edges, no tension, just softness, yielding to the surface beneath you, melting into comfort, dissolving into rest. The space around you is soft, the darkness is soft, the silence is soft, everything gentle, everything yielding, everything soft as down, soft as clouds, soft as the space between stars. In this softness, there is safety, there is comfort, there is the gentle assurance that nothing can hurt you, nothing can disturb you. You are surrounded by softness, held by softness, becoming softness yourself. Even your thoughts are soft now, barely formed, barely present, just gentle wisps, floating through soft space, dissolving before they complete, fading into the general softness that surrounds everything, that is everything, that holds you completely. The universe in its vastness is soft. Space itself is soft, not hard, not rigid, but flexible, yielding, gentle. It bends around massive objects. It curves without breaking. It accommodates everything with infinite softness. And you are held by this softness, surrounded by it, becoming part of it, as you sink deeper into rest, deeper into peace, deeper into the infinite softness that asks nothing, that demands nothing, that simply receives you gently, completely, in its soft, eternal embrace. Let everything be soft now. Let every last edge dissolve. Let every boundary fade until there is only softness, infinite softness, holding you, surrounding you, being you, soft, gentle, at peace, forever. Continue from where you stopped. Maintain the same calm tone and structure. Do not repeat previous text. 22:58. You are being held, not by hands, but by something larger. The universe itself is holding you, cradling you, supporting you from beneath and all around. This cradle has no edges, no walls, no boundaries. It extends in all directions, forever, an infinite cradle, rocking gently, so gently you barely feel the motion, just the steady, constant support, the assurance that you will not fall, that you cannot fall, because the cradle is everywhere. Beneath you, space-time curves slightly under your mass. This is the Earth's gravity, but also your own gravity. You curve space too. You affect the universe too. And the universe responds by holding you, by curving back, by creating a perfect fit, a perfect cradle, just for you. This cradle has been here since you were born, before you were born. It held the atoms that would become you. It held the stars that made those atoms. It has always been holding you, in different forms, in different arrangements, but always holding, always supporting, always there, and it will continue. After you change form, after your atoms separate and drift apart, the cradle will still be there, holding them, holding everything, in its infinite gentle embrace. You do not need to hold yourself up. You do not need to stay strong. You can completely relax into the cradle. Let it take all your weight, all your burden, all your need for support. The cradle can handle it. The cradle can handle everything. It is infinite. It is eternal. It never tires, never weakens, never lets go. Black holes rest in this same cradle. Despite their immense mass, despite their profound gravity, they too are held by the structure of space-time, by the fabric of the universe, by the same infinite cradle that holds you. Everything is held, everything is supported, everything rests in the universal cradle, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, all cradled, all supported, all safe. So rest in the cradle now. Feel it beneath you, around you, everywhere. Feel how perfectly it supports you, how gently it holds you, how completely it accepts your weight. And let go. Let go of any remaining effort. Let the cradle hold you entirely. Trust it completely. It has never dropped anything. It never will. It is perfect in its support, perfect in its care, perfect in its eternal, unending embrace. And you are safe here, completely safe. forever safe in the unending cradle that rocks you gently, holds you completely, and will never let you go. Where does your body end? Where does the air begin? These edges are becoming unclear, blurring, fading. The boundary between your skin and the space around it is becoming less defined, less important, less real. You are not separate from the space around you. You are continuous with it. Your warmth radiates into it. Its air flows into you. There is exchange, constant exchange. So where is the boundary? Where is the edge? It is forgetting itself, dissolving, fading away. Your thoughts also have no clear edges. Where does one thought end and another begin? Where does thinking end and silence begin? The edges are unclear, soft, permeable. Everything flows into everything else. In space, there are no hard edges. A star does not have a surface like a ball. It has an atmosphere that fades gradually into space, thinning, becoming less dense, until it is indistinguishable from the void. But where exactly is the edge? There is no exact place, just a gradual transition, a forgetting of boundaries. Galaxies have no edges either. They fade into the space between galaxies. Their outer stars become sparser and sparser until they are just occasional points of light, and then nothing. But where did the galaxy end? No one can say exactly. The edge forgot itself, dissolved into ambiguity, into the general field of space. You can forget your edges too. Let them dissolve. Let them become unclear. You do not need to know where you end and the rest of the universe begins. You do not need to maintain that boundary. You can let it soften, blur, fade, until you are not sure anymore where you end, where the world begins, and it does not matter. It never mattered. The edges were always just ideas, just concepts, just thoughts about separation that were never really true. You have always been continuous with everything, part of the field, part of the whole, never truly separate. So forget your edges now. Let them dissolve completely. Let yourself blend into the space around you, into the darkness, into the silence, into the soft, infinite field that has no boundaries, no separations, no edges at all. Just one continuous presence, one unified field, one infinite being of which you are part, have always been part, will always be part, without edges, without boundaries, without separation, just unity, just wholeness, just the forgetting of edges and the remembering of oneness, complete, total, eternal.